Alabama takes it on the chin. So do those Texas Longhorns. Clemson takes a fall at home to LSU, and BK, Brian Kelly's talking trash about it. We're going to talk about that and much more tonight on a late edition of Hall of Fame College Football Live. Hall of Fame College Football. If you love college football, you know you're in the right place. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. And don't forget to ring the bell. Smash that red subscriber button. And don't forget to ring the bell. Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. So what are we talking about? Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame College Football. Welcome into the show, gentlemen. Late night edition of this Tuesday live stream. I wanted to get into some of this stuff, man. It's been a rough weekend for me, man. I've had a tooth problem and stuff, but I got it. I think I got it under control now. Gonna see if we can get there. Feeling better, do tonight, and then maybe a little bit in the morning as well. Kind of go through some of this stuff. Obviously, let's see. We'll get into some of that. Let's see. Cherry Bear, what's up, man? Crucifix Autumn says he's going to check out In the Weeds first. Don't blame you. Goated, what's up, my guy? They really think was in a Michigan chat earlier. They really think is the leading Heisman candidate. Oh, okay. Well, they might be really crazy. We'll get into that. Garrett Bullware, Donald Pulaw. Yes, sir. 14-7. Sooners for life. Sooner in Texas, my gun sweetness. Good to see you guys. Thank you for popping in. We may have, in fact, we should have old Shouty from Just My Damn Opinion popping in here for a few minutes as well. Want to talk about really the whole weekend because it was a pretty wild weekend in college football overall. You had Alabama not just losing, but looking really bad in doing so. Just looked uninspired, kind of soft. We'll get into a little bit of that. Also had Clemson not being able to hold up its end of the deal. You allowed I can't believe they allowed Brian Kelly to call that Death Valley Jr. and then come in there and prove it. So that was pretty wild. What? It won't recognize your PC camera or USB camera? Huh. You want to try just on your phone there, Shawty, and pop in like that? That's weird. It should. I don't know why it doesn't. It's been doing it for everybody else, so that's weird. But pop in. But then, not only they just, as I was saying, Clemson allowing that to kind of go down. I tell you, LSU looked really good. Really, really good. So we'll get into a little bit of that. Also, the Michigan game. I mean, you got the Michigan game coming up. You've got, a couple of games over the weekend that mattered and stuff. I feel like they mattered. That Auburn, a lot of people are real high on Auburn after what just happened. Kind of is what it is, but, it won't recognize your PC camera nor yours. Okay. What you feeling bad for Coach for? Notre Dame's a big boy school. It was a good game. We'll definitely get into talking about that as well. Coach ain't going to be able to make it in, but we'll definitely talk about that game also. It was a hell of a game. I thought that they didn't look good at first, Notre Dame. They looked good late. But, hey, Miami, hats off to them. They did their thing. What's up there, Kobe? Poor fellers, those guys. Restart the device. There you go. That's a good way. What's up, Unc? My guy. What you been doing? Cherry Berry, you called LSU winning. Okay. Proud that he showed up. Hey, I'm actually proud that old Cove showed up, man. Yeah. We haven't seen Bevo's bodyguard anywhere on any of these channels. So it's rather surprising. Hankster, what up, my guy? Good to see you. Bullware, Satterfield. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good to see everybody. Sooners for life. Gil Cruz. What up, my guy? Hey, man. All love to you for popping in here. You're going to have, we were talking. I was just on with Brinsky and Coach Sean earlier on their show. Appreciated that going on with them talking about it. And to be fair, hey, Alabama fans are being real about it. They're not happy about what they saw either. I wonder if it really does put Kalen DeBoer in danger. I don't think that you can have too many more of those kind of outings that you can look like that, because to me, they looked uninspired. They looked like they were loafing a lot. They looked like they were not really. I mean, there's something wrong with the way that things are going there. So I think you got to get it under control if you're Alabama, and they're not going to put up with it for very long. They don't expect that, and I don't know what would end up happening, but we'll have to see. It restarted, control, delete. Good. Just stopping to see if y'all have any good plays for goal line TDs. You know what, man? Shoot, give me your email address. I'll pop in a playbook for you. It's from his book that I really enjoy. Maybe they need it there, but I hope they don't get it in order, to be quite honest with you. Goat it. Just became a member. Thank you, sir. Glad your membership. I thought you were already members for some reason, but I'm glad you became one if you haven't already been one in the past. David Whitehead, our Moosehead Sooner. See, Eric Basham also in here. Who else did I miss? Anybody else? Sooners for life. Unc, what's up, my guy? What did you think this weekend? Sheila, look at there. There's Sheila. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. Cruise Facts on. Looks like I went through everybody. All right. Appreciate everybody coming in. Greg Ray, also. Good to see you. Where is old Benji? I don't know. I got to be fair. I haven't been on as much, because of, like I said, my tooth being hurting and all that stuff. So not necessarily, I'm not gonna go at Benji much. And you know what? He was in on one of the shows that I popped in for yesterday. He was on Sooner Legend show. So at least he was there to, he's taking his licks. And fair enough that Kobe does the same thing. Yeah, he's back in there. Who did you see in the Texas chat earlier today? The surge is a dumpster fire. Oh, no. Are you serious, Kim? What did they do? Are they tripping out about the offensive line and all that other stuff? Oh, no. Who's ignoring you? Oh, good God. I don't even know how I did that. That's funny. Anyone know sign language? Sorry, guys. That's probably okay because I was talking about the Surge twins, so it's okay. But I wasn't really talking bad about them. No, I just said that basically what the last minute or so I was talking about. I understand the people that are concerned about the offensive line struggles. I get it. I would say a lot of it has to do with a certain running back that doesn't seem to hit the hole, but instead runs into the ass of his lineman, and maybe should play a little less. The other part I would say, and look, I get, as I said, if you want to jump off the deep end about the offensive line and where it's at right now, fine. I get it. I'm good. But what, Unc, are you saying? Where's the chick with the big Jason? oh, you're talking about really flawed. You guys be nice. All right, she's I don't know. She's been bashing on Texas all weekend, though. I'll tell you that much. She doesn't play that shit. She's been bashing on Texas and Coach Prime, which she covers a lot of their stuff with Deion Sanders and the CU team. She wasn't having it, and I'll tell you, it was a debacle that they had in that game too. I mean, they left two timeouts on the board and ran out of fucking time to try to tie the game or win it, which was pretty wild, right? Pretty wild. Sorry about that I don't know what happened on the mute thing, but that's kind of weird. Let's see. Cherry Bear even gave me a super chat to tell me I was muted. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was saying, though. That's basically what I was saying, was just talking about the fact that if you are worried, I understand it. But one thing I would remind everybody is even his best offensive lines, Bill Bedenbaugh's best offensive lines, generally take 3 to 4 weeks to really gel together and become what they are later in the season. It is what it is. That's always been the way. That's always been the case. And I know some people are more worried about it than others. I know that Gabe Eichert, far be it from me to judge anything he has to say about offensive line play when he's a former All-American and longtime NFL player. I get it. Again, he believes in Coach Bedenbaugh is one thing for sure. So we'll see kind of where that all ends up. But like I said, I think that overall they're going to be fine on that side of the ball. Okay, looks like the hell did I just do? Oh, okay. Real quick, let's bring in our guy from Just My Damn Opinion, Shouty Parker, our guy. What's up, dog? I like that shirt, bro.
What's happening, man? What's happening?
What's happening? I like that shirt. Throwing them up.
Appreciate it.
It's like here and here.
Right? There it says it all.
It's telling you. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's good shit. I like it.
Hey, man, I've been listening to the show a little bit in the background. Took me a little while to get in for some reason. I don't know what was going on, man. I actually, I guess you just wouldn't take any of my virtual reality, not virtual reality, but virtual background.
You can. I think you have to do it on the settings here. You should be able to do it.
Oh, it just wouldn't take it for this time. I've done it several times before, but this time it just wouldn't take it for some reason. But But what's going on with all this nice talk, man? It's football season. Folks feeling bad for Alabama and Notre Dame. What the F, man? Fudge all that, man. I don't feel no love for them. I'm glad they down. I hope they down when we see them.
For real, though. That's what, and I was fixing to say, you're not going to get any love from Shawty, man. He coming in from the Georgia perspective. He's going to be like, fuck him. Fuck him.
I mean, when we down there, they ain't feeling sorry for us.
Ain't nobody crying no tears for you when you take an L. Hell no. Hell no.
That's what you do.
Yep. Hey, listen, man. It is what it is. It's a tough weekend for everybody that loses gets, you catch what you catch. And when you're Texas and when you're Texas, especially, you're coming in, all the hype behind you. You ain't beat Georgia, the one good team you played last year until the playoff. You played them twice and they whooped your ass twice. One time in damn Austin, but they're still getting all the love. Preseason number one. Arch Manning ain't never played. He's started a couple of games against Cream Puffs, but he ain't started against nobody like Ohio State. And everybody's just thinking they're going to run and go through the SEC. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, you definitely ain't getting no love from me for their asses losing. Notre Dame, hey, I think that they're a contender for the national championship, but they didn't look like it early in that game against Miami for damn sure. And Miami did look very good for what it's worth in that game as well. I think Notre Dame looked better at the end. You still lost, man. You're going to take your L and you got to take the lumps that come with it, right?
Better.
Huh?
Get better.
Get better. That's right.
That's all you can do. Listen, let me tell you why I don't feel sorry for nobody like that, Jason. They had all off season to prepare.
Yeah.
You knew the game was on the schedule, and that's the shit you put out there. It's your fault.
Yeah,
maybe you should have scheduled a non-P4 team like we did.
Yeah, listen. I mean, if you're gonna have some hiccups in your game, I got to tell you, I don't think it's that kind of stuff when it comes to Alabama, though. I mean, I started talking about them. I got to tell you, something ain't right there. Something ain't right there. It's, to me, I see softness. These dudes were not hustling after the football. They weren't popping and hitting. And I know that we heard from Oklahoma players after the game last year against Alabama that said they didn't want to hit with us. They weren't. We've definitely had dudes that hit much harder and play harder against you than these cats do. And so that should be, you know what I'm saying? That's a little bit, that should be worrisome if you're a Bama fan.
Jason, I say it all the time. So this is, we probably know what I'm finna say. I say it all the time about how teams take on the personalities of their head coach.
They do.
The guy is all nice and soft. He don't want to be in the media. He would prefer his other coaches to talk. And so what I'm saying is he nice, and at the same time, that's why I look at it from a psyche standpoint. He could not be connecting with his players. He can't connect with the media. He can't connect with other people. He might have a hard time coaching with his players, even though they say he's a player's coach, but that don't mean he connecting with them. That could be that could be the disconnect that you might be seeing. You may see it from a physicality standpoint, but I see it more from a standpoint they just don't play hard for this guy because there's no connection for him like they had with Saban.
Yeah, and I mean, the bottom line is they do things a lot different. Saban is, every detail is gone over to a T. I think that's obviously the kind of the same thing that the way that Kirby is. I mean, I stopped him, kind of half watched, half listened to what was being said at that Georgia practice when I was in Athens that day. And, there wasn't a part of that practice that man was not involved in and paying attention to and talking about and bitching about. And he just wasn't having it, And so I think that this softer, gentler way of doing things at Alabama probably isn't going to equate to very good things. And, they've been a man-to-man team forever. And to switch to this 4-2-5 and a lot of zone stuff, it doesn't feel like it fits them very well. But they're surely not coming off the ball and hitting your ass.
So when you're dealing with, 2-3 stars, which is normally what he generally dealt with before coming to Alabama, it's okay to have that personality. But these 4 and top 5 stars, these are different kind of animals. They have a different kind of mentality. They play hard. They the best of the best, so they got to be coached hard. And everybody know kids are always trying to push the border and push the line. They say kids at Alabama are coming late to class, missing the bus. I don't know if you heard all this stuff, but they say it's just like it's like they running over the guy.
Yeah, yeah. And there was a line that you weren't going to cross with Saban. I mean, you weren't going to do that shit. Yeah. Hey, Benji, you're still a troll. You may have been right about the game, but you're still a troll, bro. Come on now. Anyway, yeah. No, I listen. And all is fair. I was just on with Brinsky and Coach Sean earlier, and they were cutting the most slack. You know what I mean? And so, and I told them, like I said, I think that there's a softness issue there for sure. I think there's a softness issue. I don't think that that's something that you can. That's a lot of these offensive coaches are, bro. A lot of these offensive coaches are that when that's what you're only concerned about what your offense does and scoring and all that. That because here's the thing, you need a lot of times I'm cool. I've been saying this a lot about Oklahoma's offense. I don't care if they score on every fucking drive. They don't have to. What I don't want to see is a bunch of 3 and outs, and I want to see you moving the football at a good pace to where you're running that clock, because that's complementary football. And you need to play complementary football, particularly in the SEC, to get through it. And you got to keep them off the field some. Just be good enough. Be a top 30, top 40 offense that moves the football, gets good time of possession, and is able to, do and make sure that you score with your good opportunities. When you get a turnover, go whip their ass with it. You know what I mean? You got to beat them with that.
Look, Jason, to your point, listen, he's an offensive guy, supposedly, right? Do you understand Alabama coming to this game? Alabama had lost 3 of their 4 games, and their offense had been averaging 12 points.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I got Norman in here barking and shit.
What I was saying is, he's supposed to be an offensive guy. But coming into this game, Alabama had lost 3 of their last 4 games. You good?
The dog in here tripping, man.
Alabama coming to this game had lost 3 of their last 4 games, and their offense had only averaged 12 points. So that ain't good. Like the carryover is not good. If you're going to be soft as an offensive head coach and an offensive guy, you got to bring in a defensive coordinator to match your energy. You got to. That's kind of what, I hate to bring it up, but that's kind of what you guys were struggling with. You guys were offensive for so long, then you brought a defensive guy, and then he came in and concentrated on the defense, and it flipped. He had to find that balance. Hopefully, it's Arbuckle. He find that balance to kind of balance him off, and like you say, to play complementary football. Right now, Alabama is having that same kind of issue.
No, I agree. And if you've seen same kind of deal, I think that Lincoln Riley still has that problem.
Yes.
Lincoln Riley still has that problem. He had that problem for sure. Lane Kiffin has that problem. I would tell you that Texas, as good as everybody wants to act like their defense was, nobody's talking about the fact that they had a brand new offensive coordinator and a brand new quarterback too, but they were able to go out there and put points on the board. So, I'm not positive that I am just completely in belief that the Texas defense is all that, nor the Ohio State offense for that matter, because I didn't think that the game was called very well over there. But I agree with you 100% on Alabama. I think that right now they are at a crossroads for their program's life, that you better figure something out. That if you watch the first series, all they did really was run the football. Had you had stuck with that and because they were getting 6-7 yards a pop on that, and then they go away from it, which was wild to me that you would do that. But they did. I mean, and to me, I felt like at some point in the second half, even, I don't care if you're down, you need to establish that you can control the football now and give your defense time to figure it out, and they really just weren't doing it. So it's, to me, when you don't run the book, you've talked about this a lot before, when you don't run the football, you're not giving your team an opportunity to establish control at the line of scrimmage and everything else and kind of put them under your will, right?
Listen, I'm gonna show you what was a microcosm of this game. If you're an Alabama fan, let me tell you how you know things are not where they need to be and the culture has changed. If you go to the first, I think it's the first quarter, 9 minutes and 25 seconds, you guys are on defense. Watch how your safety number 18 plays and hustles to the ball. It's no, sir. He has no. That kid could not play defense for me. If he was in the pros, I hate it, but I would cut him on the spot. And if he has a scholarship, I got to give it to somebody else. He cannot play defense for me the way he played.
Yep. Just stopping.
9:25 first quarter. Go check it out.
I've already said I know exactly what you're talking about. The guy, and you saw it a bunch from other players too. It wasn't just him. There was a lot of dudes you could see them loafing, not really going after the ball carrier and stuff like that. I mean, it's like they gave up on it real quick, and that is a bad sign if you're Alabama fan, that these dudes didn't have enough pride to get your ass up off the mat. You're gonna let this quarterback that only can run the football talk shit all summer and then back it up? Whoa.
I mean, he looks so fast. I mean, like, God, I mean, this Boston College didn't even want the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He goes to Florida State and makes Alabama. I mean, he looked like Charlie Ward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling you. Old Carlos Fulton, our Michigan troll in the house. Full of has-beens, huh? Entire conference is overrated, coaching terrible and choking big games. Bro, you shouldn't be saying a whole lot after what y'all look like for the most of the game against New Mexico at home, bro.
I mean, he got an argument. You know, we going out bad. We ain't looking good. You know what I'm saying?
It hasn't looked good so far. It hasn't. I'll give him that.
But it just went week one. You know,
he's not going to enjoy what's going to happen to their asses in Norman this weekend, though.
So what you think about the QB his first? Were you impressed with Michigan's quarterback at all? I watched a little bit of the game.
I think he's good. I think he's a talented kid. I think he's not going to know what's coming at him Saturday. I think they're going to throw things at him that he ain't never seen before and isn't going to know how to deal with. And if you think that you're going to run the ball on them just because they got a few yards the other day, if you were really paying attention to it, you'd see why they did. They were overrunning some stuff, and their gap discipline wasn't good. If there's one thing I know about BV, that shit'll be fixed Saturday. Promise you that'll be fixed Saturday.
Now, to Arch Manning credit, this is one thing I will say. I do think old Matt Patricia was a great hire. I think he maybe brought in a few concepts. You know, first of all, he don't have a lot of experience, Arch, but I think Matt Patricia powered through some things, some NFL concepts, possibly at him that he just didn't know what to do with. He might have had it confused a little bit. I think that was a great hire for Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. I think Underwood is good. I said that. I think they did look good. They did. But Carlos, you got to quit lying, acting like they just didn't play nobody but backups at the end. Shut up with that shit. Come on, man. Let's be real. New Mexico's a solid team. Then Mexico's a solid team that lost all its players and coaches from last year. Mm-hmm. They're all at Nevada State now. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm saying he should have looked good against them, though.
He should. But I don't know how close it's going to be. We're going to find out. We'll talk more about that here coming up. Let's talk about this Clemson LSU game. What were your thoughts there? All that shit that Brian Kelly's talking all week about Death Valley Jr. and all that stuff, and they walk out of there with the win. Kind of bitched them out a little bit.
Well, you know, I kind of talked about it on another show, man. I just try to give credit where it's due sometimes, you know, because I give so many people hard times. But, you know, Brian Kelly made the emphasis in the offseason to, you know, change things up because he hadn't had a home win since he was at LSU. So whatever he did, whatever focus he put into that team, they put a lot of focus into it. And I will just say from a X's and O's standpoint, I had to give him credit in I think it was the fourth quarter. His running game was little to nowhere, and he started throwing the ball horizontally. And that really opened up their running game in the middle. So I had to give him credit to that, where he started throwing a lot of screens and just, you know, hitches to the outside, kind of extension plays of the running game, because just handing it off was not working. So I gave him credit for making that adjustment, and that's something I hadn't seen Brian Kelly do since he'd been there. So I think that was his best win, and I give him credit for going to Clemson and do it. And I hate to say it, but he outcoached old Dabo.
He did. And then did you see the little back and forth that they had on the Dabo was saying that basically that he gave LSU a 65 and was giving his team a 58, that it wasn't a very good game, that they both played bad, but he played bad, or that they played better in the end. And then DK comes back and was talking shit even more.
Come on, Dabo. That's what you resorting to, man.
Bro, he's so he's been full of shit, bro.
Nussmeyer is the real thing, man. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that.
Yeah.
He's the real thing.
He is. He's look, we've talked about this quite a bit. Nuss had to make sure that he kind of controlled his turnover problem that he's been having, right? I think that's the deal with Nuss. To go out there against one of the better defenses in the country, at least expected wise coming into the season, with the guys that they had on that D line and then their secondary that they really love, to go out there and lead those touchdown drives, not throw any interceptions, not have any real issues where they're turning the ball over, or he is. I thought he had a hell of a game, man.
And shout out to the defensive coordinator who finally found out a spot. They don't made this kid play 3 different positions. He don't play a different position every year at LSU.
Harold. Mm-hmm.
They finally put him at the star position and he shines. Thank you, defensive coordinator, for finally doing your job, man.
That's the guy that came over from Missouri too. So, and everybody was talking about how good he was. My thing was, why are they moving this dude? Let this cat just go after the quarterback for damn. I mean, that's what I'd have done. And his parents, they all want him to be a linebacker in the NFL. You got to get to the NFL first, and you ain't gonna unless you rush in the quarterback. I doubt see you getting there. So just go do what you can do, bro. Go do what you can do.
They keep making plays on film. They'll find somewhere for you to play.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be trying to find out where to play at LSU. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They'll find out in the NFL somewhere for you to play.
You crazy, dude. You think that you're going to put 26 points on this defense? I will clip that. Thank you. I'm booking it. We'll make sure. It's like I said, you ain't going to be back here next week. We already know you won't be back here next week. You've talked all your smack.
That's a Michigan fan?
Yeah, he's been talking shit for 2 weeks. Steady. Michigan's defense has dropped off significantly. And look, your offense is going to have to put up points. And if you think you're putting up 26 on Oklahoma's defense, you must have lost your damn mind. It ain't happening.
They have to establish the run on y'all. I mean, that's what they're going to try to do. It's going to be hard to run on Oklahoma front set.
Yeah, they're not going to run on Oklahoma. It's not happening, bro.
Because this kid, I don't think this kid can beat you with his arm just yet. He has to have the running game behind him, and he has to have some things to help him out. He's just not going to come out and throw it 35 to 40 times and beat you.
If he does, he's going to get there. That's going to be bad. If he has to throw it 35. And here's the thing. Think about the Alabama game last year. Jalen Milroe is not a very accurate guy, especially in that area of the field that you have to be super accurate. And when they took the ability for him to run away, we took away the ability for him to run, then that's what happened. He ended up throwing interceptions, pick six. He had two interceptions, a fumble, and that's what ends up happening. And he wasn't even a brand new dude. This kid has never seen what he's going to get thrown at him by Brent Venables. Never. I guarantee you didn't see a damn thing that they're going to throw at him last week. Nothing. So there it is.
When also
are you crazy? Ain't this a bitch? Ain't this a bitch? Jim Harbaugh ain't walking back through that door either. And hey, I got love for Sherrone Moore. He's a Sooner, but he hasn't done anything without Jim Harbaugh yet. So we'll see. You know what I mean? What do I think about Mateer being the favorite for the Heisman? I think there's a long damn ways to go in the season, and we'll talk about that shit when it actually matters. Until he goes out there and beats some teams like beating Michigan next week, go a long way towards I want to start hearing about it. Go out and beat Auburn, go beat Texas, then we'll talk.
Well, he just got to beat the
Heisman talk don't mean a fucking thing right now. Heisman talk don't mean a fucking.
You got to beat the big names first. Like you got names out there that you can't even get around. Ain't been enough football played. We just talked about Nussmeier. Even though Manning didn't have a great game, but still the name. You got to go out and play some big games, and before you even get past those kind of names, talking about the Heisman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's lots of time. I don't do Heisman talk at this point of the year. I haven't even started our rankings, our poll, because I'm gonna wait till week 5 to do it because I don't think it fucking matters right now. We're gonna find out who the best teams in the country are as it gets started, but and who the best players are too. I think for the guys that are coming back, you saw the ones that looked really good. I think Lenoris Sellers looked really good at times. He didn't look great at other times. I mean, I like Lenoris, but I don't love South Carolina. I gotta be honest. I don't love South Carolina.
He has to become a better distributor of the ball, man. He has to become a better delivery system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. And when things don't really go his way, it feels like it takes him a while to get it back. You know, he doesn't flush it pretty quick and let it go. I mean, he had those 2 drops in that game early on that, I mean, they could have run away from him. You know what I mean? Early on, Virginia Tech's not that damn good. Let's be real. They weren't that good. And they hung around an awful long time with South Carolina for my taste if I'm a South Carolina fan.
They can't score points. That's what I'm saying. He got to be able to deliver the ball. You can't depend on his legs the whole game to score points. He got to be a better delivery system. I mean, you got receivers out there. I'm not saying they're the greatest, but you got to find a way to deliver the ball to the guys on the outside. And, you know, it can't just be boom or bust with Nick Harbor.
Yep. Where was Coach I's nephew? I didn't see him getting the ball at all.
I talked about he only had 1 attempt. We talked about it. I talked to them about that. Like, he's the best route runner and the best.
He was their leading receiver last year as a freshman, and he ain't getting more balls.
And I asked him, was he the odd man out? And they basically said, yeah, because the way their offense is set up for the tight ends to get the ball.
Mm.
Well, they need to figure something out if that's the case.
I mean, I don't know why Maceo ain't getting the ball whenever he was catching every damn thing that got thrown his way last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's wild to me. And look, I like Nick Harbor's size and speed and all that other shit too, but he don't run routes for shit, and he has a hard time catching footballs.
You saw how he caught? Did you see the deep ball he caught for the touchdown? He caught that motherfucker like he caught an over the head pass. How you catch like this? He caught it like that.
Hey, you a receiver? Tell me. I mean, that's why I'm with you, bro.
Look at what I'm saying. Like, just look how he catch the easiest ball to catch, the soft ball that drops in the
He's
back.
out of position. He shouldn't even be playing offense. He should be a damn edge guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'd probably be completely unstoppable as an edge guy. Completely unstoppable. You know, with that speed and that ability, it's wild to me.
Like
that's where he would have played there anywhere else he was gonna go.
He would be the prototypical 3-4 edge kind of jack. Well, we call it the jack, where you can put your hand in dirt or stand up and drop off in coverage type. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a little bit versatile to play that position. You're basically that defensive end in a 4-3, but you're the outside linebacker in a 3-4, if that makes sense. But he would be ideal, like a kid, like, man, just even in the passing lane, you rushing the passer, getting your hands up. There's no lane, no lane for you to throw the ball. You're already 6'5".
Yeah.
Speeding around the edge. I don't know. He lost a lot of money with that decision. You know.
I mean, that's the thing is you're gonna make more money as an edge guy than you would as a receiver in the NFL,
and play longer probably.
But definitely play longer. Yeah, you don't get your head knocked off like that, broke back down.
Because a guy that size playing receiver in the NFL, you're a big target. It's a good chance you probably won't last long. Ask Calvin Johnson.
No, we didn't. What you talking about?
Hey, where Coach Smooth where Coach Smooth at?
Coach Smooth?
I'm just teasing.
You know what? He has it. I got to give the Alabama creators. I got to give them props, man. They haven't been just making excuses or anything like that. They've been telling it like it is. Well,
you know, it was on national TV. It did happen. You know what I'm saying? It's a long season. You can't hide forever. That's why you be seeing him in the comment. Don't be hard to find.
Don't be hard to. Oh yeah, well, that's like the Texas guys. Let's talk about that one. For all the talk about Texas this past, all off season, they tried to lose the damn game to Arizona State. They let Clemson stay with them the entirety of that game, and then had a chance to tie up the game with Ohio State and gag their asses off in that one and went backwards and ended up, turning it over on the goal line. Then this week they get on the goal line, can't punch it in there either. They were in the red zone, 3 different times, didn't get any points out of it. That's fucking wild to me.
First quarter, 7-0. Why are you chasing points? Kick the field goal, man. You got 3 quarters left. Mm-hmm. Give your offense some confidence. Let me ask you this question. Give your offense some confidence. You just made a drive. But let me ask you this. I always brag on Sarkisian as a play caller. I don't know what happened this game, but my question to you would be this. Do you think he can give Manning the full playbook? Maybe he can't handle the full playbook yet.
This is year 3 in the system. What do you mean he can't? He can't handle the whole playbook?
I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I'm just wondering why the play calling looks so. I don't want to say vanilla, but it doesn't look like it was as.
Well, I think he was very conservative.
Right.
Very conservative. And here's the thing. Here's what I think about that, though. I don't care how much of the playbook he's grasping or not grasping. I would go out there in a game because here's the deal. You're on the road in the shoe. You're not favored to win. If you lose and you go out there on your sword and you make them beat you by just outscoring you, cool. But you even let him turn it over, let him make mistakes, let him go out there and get some confidence. Though I've been saying this. I've always told you guys that Sark is not as good a coach as everybody acts like he is. These last 2 years are the only 2 times that he's ever even won 10 games or more. In 12 years. 12 years as a head coach. He's done it twice. And we just act like, okay, well, recruiting fixes all that. Recruiting always fixes all that at Texas, apparently. But it don't. And there's a reason why they kept Quinn in there, even though he was hurt. It's because Arch wasn't ready. But if it's me and I'm coach, and look, obviously I'm not kind of close to being the coach there, but I'm just saying, I don't know why you don't go out there and be like, you know what, we're going to have a ridiculously aggressive game plan. We're going to make them shut it down, make them turn us over, because we're going to put them in pressure situations. We're going to throw the ball down the fucking field. And I just would have. And I think Arch missed some plays. I think he missed some reads that he should have.
First play, he skipped them over the ball to the man.
No, I think he missed guys that were open that he didn't see them and shit like that. Okay, gotcha. No, he definitely didn't. I'm not saying that Arch played good or I don't, because I don't think that he did, right? But I would just tell you that in the end, at some point, you're gonna have to be better than that. And I think that as much as if Sark is as great as everybody acts like he is as a play caller, then why don't you get this kid together? Why isn't he more ready than that in this game?
Now, to Texas' credit, they probably played one of the best defenses they going to play all year long.
One of them. Look how they don't have a lot of depth on that D-line, though. Now, that D-line played really well down by the goal line, but you should have been able to wear them down because the depth ain't there.
I mean, both defenses played well. I mean, those 2 top probably 5 defenses.
Or maybe those offenses weren't that good because it's game 1 and they're both new quarterback for both of them, new offensive coordinator for Ohio State. Maybe they just weren't really going to be up to their speed in game 1.
2 things can be true. Because the defenses are good no matter what you say. The defenses are different to the top defense.
I know Colin Simmons got bitch slapped. Colin Simmons was a no-show in the game.
So you don't think Texas have a top 10 defense in the nation?
I don't know if they do or not. I want to see them go up against more good offenses, because I think that Ohio State's offense will be a lot better later in the year than it was Saturday.
What about Ohio State? They don't have a top 10 defense either?
They may. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the thing is,
But based off the rosters, you almost have just based off the roster, you almost have.
Well, no. When you start talking about Texas, they had to add 5 dudes to the defensive line through the portal because they weren't heavy enough there.
Yeah.
How many portal defensive linemen are really that good, Shawty? Or otherwise they ain't in the portal.
I mean, fair enough.
I'm just saying, I think that Texas has a good defense. I think they're going to be led by their defense. Do I think that they're all world, that like everybody acts like they are? I do not. I think they've got all world players. I think they have a few all world players. Colin Simmons didn't look like it this weekend, but he's supposed to be one of those guys. I think Michael Tapp, like him. Think he's unbelievably good. And I would tell you that if it's not Caleb Downs, the best defensive player in the country, then it's probably Anthony Hill at Texas, the linebacker. I like Anthony Hill. I think that dude's a baller, bro. Huh?
I'm messing with Sooner for life. I told him to slow his roll. He had a greater than equal sign on Texas defense and Georgia defense.
Oh, yeah. So where are they then? Are they greater than or equal to on Georgia?
You know what I would say now? Like I said, I try to be honest. I can. Based on paper, I think Texas defense is better than ours because I think I had a lot of questions about our defense, and I don't think it was apples to apples when you compare who they played and who we played, but just based off the film, I'm a lot more higher on our defense than I am Texas now, based off the film.
Right.
Because I was impressed with our defense. Some of the things I saw from our front seven, I was, thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, I mean, and you got your cupcake week 1. I mean, but you looked how you should look. Zachariah Branch, nice game for him. It was good to see him. Probably, as a Georgia fan, I bet it's really good to see somebody out there catching footballs because you hadn't seen a lot of it.
Well, what was more impressive about that play, what I try to tell people is that was a check down. He caught that ball 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The quarterback went through 2 other progressions. It was not there, and he just dropped it off to him as a check down, 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. That's what was impressive about that play.
He's a good player, man. He's a good player. He's good. And what do you think about the quarterback? You liking him?
My quarterback? You know what, Jason? I think he's going to have to be at least serviceable for us. I don't see him being the type of quarterback that's going to, go out and win games for us. I'm hoping we don't have to throw the ball more than 25, 27 times a game. That's how I feel about him. I think we can stay in that, 21 to 24 times a game. I think we win, and he can do just enough to win. I don't want to have to put it on his back. I don't care how much people say how tough he is and the team behind him and all that. I don't see him as that type of guy. He's going to have to use the pieces around him to take us where we want to
go. Okay.
But serviceable, yes.
Okay. He's not going to carry you. You're going to have to get a lot of contributions from other places. What you're saying? Yep. Okay. That's a fair. Hey, listen. That's a fair way to put it.
And when he can make plays, when he's trying to make those, 50-50 balls and things like that, like what I mean by other players, they're going to have to make those plays. Without those guys making those kind of plays, or he being able to possibly do something where I saw this weekend where you run a quarterback option and all 3 defenders take the pitch, man, and nobody takes the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And you were running for a touchdown. We're going to need that kind of stuff to happen, which probably won't happen in conference play. So,
Yeah, true.
I had never seen that. 3 defenders twice took the pitch, man. Nobody accounted for the quarterback. That was wild.
Okay.
But it looked good. But it looked good to everybody in the stands. You rah for he just, ripped off a 20-yard touchdown. Yeah, Gunner Stockton can run the ball. No, nobody else is gonna do that. Trust me. Nobody's gonna let 3 defenders take the pitch, man, and lead the quarterback. Trust me.
Right. Yeah, that was poor playing by Marshall for sure. Crow, what's up, man? Appreciate it. He says, love you guys. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. What's up? Good to see you. Starter at Purdue, who was the best of the bunch Saturday. Shaw, starter at UNC. Johnson, starter. What are you even talking about, bro? What are we talking about here? At least he looks like he has Down syndrome in his helmet, like his uncles. Oh, we're talking about Arch. That's fucked up, but that's funny. He did what he did against Bama.
I wonder if Sark will pull the trigger on Arch if he don't come out flaming the next 2-3 games. Will he pull the trigger? Go to the backup?
They like their backups, apparently. I don't know. I don't think so. I think
Too big.
Whatever happens this year, I think that first off, I think Arch is not just a 1-year guy. I don't think even if he was to be great this year and they were to win the Natty, which whatever, but even if that were going to happen, they've made it pretty clear that they're 2 years of him starting there. He wants to play there. I think that they made that. I don't. First off, I mean, I just would tell you that I don't think Sark is gonna. No, I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens. I think you would have to get awfully bad. I think you got. I think you'd have to have a losing record or something like that for him to.
Because of his cachet, that's what I'm saying. Like he gets that extra.
Sure.
Benefit of the doubt.
They paid him a lot of money, bro. They paid him an awful lot of money. You know, I mean, they said that he didn't get any NIL from Texas, or well, apparently he's got. I mean, he damn sure had more commercials than touchdown passes or completions even on this weekend. So he's making lots of money. I don't think it's a money thing. They don't need him to go anywhere.
He's not coming from the inner cities, poverty stricken.
Even if he was, no, I know, but I'm saying like he's got a bunch of sponsorships and a lot of money. That's not a thing at all.
He's not taking NIL though, right?
Apparently, he's not taking NIL. But yeah. I mean, he's not taking NIL from the school, from the collective, is what they said, right? But they spent a lot to get him in there. They spent a lot to get him there. They recruited. They spent a lot of money on recruiting him. Some of that other stuff. I don't think that they took a bunch of money as far as, and he wanted to be a Texas kid. He wanted to go to Texas. So it is what it is. But, you know, we'll see kind of what happens. Will Giovanni get snapped Saturday? I don't know. We're going to talk more about OU stuff for sure tomorrow. And from what we're hearing on some of that stuff, but I would expect that he might be going to get some snaps on Saturday. I think he's ready to go. Then again, with what you have as far as the receiving core, I mean, it's not like you got to rush him into service here. You know what I mean? Let him be healed. Let him be all the way healed.
Yeah.
I like Giovanni. I think he's going to be great. I think Keontez Lewis showed himself to be very, very good. And same with Deion Burks and some of these other guys. I think that for all the questions about Jaren Kanak, and it's ridiculous that he could be the starter on tight end. You know what? He's the guy. You better have him in on all passing situations because he's that guy. I think they're in great shape. Hasn't played Elijah Thomas and Giovanni. Gibson would probably be the best, but he got hurt. He wants to be back before Red River. Yeah, I think that he definitely wants to be back before Red River. He wants to be back before then, though. And it sounds like he's going to be. So we'll see. Problem I have with people saying UM is going to stop OU is that they struggled against New Mexico's offense, and they're not going to have their best player on defense for a whole half. Yeah, which I don't know what I think about all that. I think they're playing football, man, and that was a football play. Was it targeting?
Yeah.
He was, I mean, he was following through with the tackle as the kid was following through on the throw. I mean, I didn't watch all of it. I didn't watch all of it every down or anything like that, but I didn't see all the other stuff that I know Gabe was talking about it, that he was being a menace and doing some dirty shit. I mean, whatever. I think it's football, and I think we're getting further and further away from the game. by softening everybody up, but we'll see.
And to his comment too, I would say this. Both of you guys, not Notre Dame, but Michigan and OU both played, lesser opponents. So it's a very
Sure.
good chance that neither one of you guys showed anything that was, worth anything at that point. Both of you guys were kind of sandbagging.
Vanilla, sandbagging,
Yeah.
hard, whatever
So
you want to call it. Absolutely.
you would assume that there's going to be a ramp up process to both offenses and defenses coming
Right.
into the game. You know what I'm saying?
I think
So
I think it was fairly important for Oklahoma to show something on offense, and they took the time they left material in the game to do it, to have a game. And he showed patience, and they showed a lot of patience, it felt like, because you would have expected them to kind of get out and just blow them out fast, and they really didn't. But there was never a time that they were really in trouble in any way. And I will say this, I think that when it comes to Illinois State, they're one of the top FCS schools in the country. That conference, for those that don't know, the Missouri Valley Conference has had a team in the national championship game for 13 years in a row. 13 years in a row. The SEC hadn't even done that shit. So this is a real program. I was impressed with the way they continued to fight. And I thought they were well coached also. But I never felt like there was any time that Oklahoma was in danger. And they certainly were very vanilla and didn't want to show anything. I don't think you can judge anything on either team either. But I mean, if we're going to start talking about what you did and what you didn't do for one school, then you got to do the same for the other. And New Mexico was within 10 points till midway through the fourth quarter. That's weird to me. So, just saying.
I think a KU fan made a statement. I don't know if it was a blanket statement or not. I just read it. It sounded like a blanket statement. But a lot of times, Jason was kind of saying it earlier, but a lot of times, players get, suspended or flagged for targeting. It's really not targeting. They be so up and down with the rule and where they move the goalpost with how they want to change this thing. That's just like with the touchdown catches. Is it a catch? Like, did you see the two calls for the touchdown catch, Jason, this weekend? One in South Carolina game and the
other one was the Texas game.
If you catch the ball and you hit the pylon, isn't the ball? I thought it's dead. It's automatic touchdown.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah.
So what me hitting the ground can't cause a fumble. So what does me hitting the ground and the ball move have to do with me securing the catch?
Here's what I said. The Texas one, I don't think that was a touchdown because the ball was moving. They showed the one angle where the ball was moving after he got hit. He wasn't to the ground yet. The ball was moving. So he didn't make it to the ground. By the letter of the law, I don't care about either one. By the letter of the law, that one should have not been. Okay. Now, as far as it goes with the South Carolina one, I didn't feel like, I guess through the letter of the law, you could say it moved a little bit once he got to the ground, but it can't cause a fumble either. I didn't feel like that. I felt like that was kind of a stupid, and even to the credit of who was it?
He broke the plane.
He had broke the plane, but then he went down and he was juggling the ball a little bit.
So what's the difference?
I felt like he got control of it. The South Carolina, I thought Nick Harbor got control of it before he got to the ground, and then the ground moved it, which happens. But
he still had his hand on the ball.
Right.
So what's the difference if I run and I jump over and extend and you knock the ball out my hand?
The problem is that when you can go that slow-mo and that close in on it and see every little thing, it takes away whether, you should be able a ref that's standing right there can tell whether that ball was fucking caught or not, man.
No, I'm saying I'm saying my question, what would be the difference if I'm running and I jump and extend and break the plane? When I come down and let the ball go, it's still not a touchdown? You see what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's wild.
Give me the ball, I jump over the huddle. I jump over the crowd at the goal line and I extend the ball. You know how people extend the ball. And you knock it out my hand. Or if I come down and drop the ball, like, it's a touchdown. I thought as soon as it break, maybe if you hand it off, you don't have to worry about it. It's more about securing the catch. Now that I think about it, no, that's just kind of iffy. Same thing with targeting. That was my point, though. That's
No,
it.
and I think that it's the same with targeting. You don't ever get the same call twice. That's the problem.
Right.
A lot of times, you just when you can see the same situation in two different ball games gets called two different ways, or even two different plays gets called two different ways in the same ball game.
Right.
It's just you never know what you're going to get with it. You know what I mean? You just never know. And Drew, I wasn't saying you were being I said you're being silly and dumb to say that Mateer's getting the same kind of hype that Arch is getting. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Shut up.
Who you fighting with in the comment?
I ain't fighting with him. Drew the Longhorn. He's full of shit.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
So I love that one. Yeah, I didn't say you were being disrespectful. I said that's full of shit talk. That's full of shit.
Fair enough, Summer for life. He hit it on the head. Reffing is human error and subjective. Fair enough. You're right.
He's the favorite to do it after passing 82% completions last week. There's a difference in doing it after you've never done shit. And he had 44 touchdowns last year and led FBS. But everybody wants to talk about he ain't going to do that now. There's we talked about this earlier. I don't talk about the Heisman bullshit. I could give a fuck right now. When he wins games that you need to win, and then I'll care about the Heisman leaders after the halfway point. Let's talk then.
Stephen Key, can the ground cause a fumble?
It cannot.
Right. That's my point. So right. So if you got your hand on the ball and it move, we ain't talking about you even losing the ball. We just talking about it moving. But if your hand is on the ball, it's secure. It don't matter if it move or not. Cause you saying the ground can't cause a fumble. That means when I hit the ground, I'm down. It's dead. Oh, I mean, I understand the letter, but it's just a little confusing sometimes. To your point, like I said, sometimes you just don't get the same call twice, and it's just confusing to me.
Yeah, and
I'm just reading some of these comments that I was going. That's why I went back to that.
Oh wow, bro! It's gonna be like this all year, bro. I'm gonna stop even watching them. And if he's now if he's the favorite, it's off of play on the field, which you can't say that about, Arch being the favorite going into the season, and it's not about play on the field. It's just about a name. That's the difference in hype and why you would actually have somebody as a favorite.
Drop the mic moment. That ended that conversation.
That conversation is over.
Put him in the blender.
In the blender. Christopher Shannon beat Michigan, Auburn, Texas before any Heisman talk. I agree. I just said the same thing. I don't want to talk about the Heisman. I don't care about the Heisman right now. And I think that the Heisman is fairly bullshit to begin with. You know what I mean? It's a quarterback. It might as well. It's a quarterback award for sure.
Jason, I'm doing a show tomorrow night. Well, I'm doing all college football. I'm doing like the stock market. Buy who stock you buying, who you holding, who you selling. Right now, SEC, what team or coach stock you selling after week 1?
Stock that you're selling after week 1? I've already been selling it, but I'm selling Texas. Yeah, I've been selling it.
You almost have to after what you've seen, though, because it came in high, right? It came in as a highly, highly regarded stock.
It didn't look good at all until the very end of the game, and I would argue that it wasn't great that they looked there. You know what I mean? I still didn't think that they played great. I don't see it. I don't see it. I didn't see it already though. So but the other one would be Alabama. I mean, you got to sell all stock in Alabama. All stock in Alabama.
That's who I'm selling right now.
And the reason for it, why? Because not because they don't have the talent, they do. These guys are not. You can't
look right though.
You can't dog it on the field and then me think that you're gonna bounce back from that. I got to see you show up and do something.
You dang right, Ben G. He leading the SEC in rushing, so why would he be a top performer? So who stock you selling? I'm sorry, who you buying? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Who's stocking my buy-in? Not Jackson's. But not Jackson's.
They look good.
Are we talking SEC or countrywide? What are we talking?
Whatever.
The SEC, well, Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, I'm buying that stock. You go on the road and win there.
Mhm.
And everybody's been hyping up Clemson as one of those favorites to win it all. You know, I like their quarterback situation. I like their defense situation there too. I don't think that they played very well, and I think LSU, when you saw that Nussmeier, even against that defense, didn't turn the ball over, I got to buy stock in them. You got to buy stock in them.
Now I'm gonna hold that Clemson stock. I just think they're gonna do a lot better. I'm not gonna sell.
I'm not necessarily selling Clemson necessarily. I'm not. Well, it's the ACC. I think that they still should be fine and win the ACC. I think that you probably are buying some FSU stock this week though, because nobody really thought much of them coming in. Definitely would be buying some Miami stock if we're talking ACC. You better be buying both of them.
I got them at the top in the ACC right now.
Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I mean, I think that's fair. Hey, look, that's a huge win against Notre Dame. That is a huge win.
For sure.
Huge win. And you haven't seen them getting wins like that against these good teams and even some bad teams that they shouldn't lose to. They've been losing.
And Cristobal would trick one off. That's his best win at Miami so far.
Mm-hmm.
He almost gave it away. He'll trick a win off now.
Mm-hmm. Too early in the season to sell any stock. Okay. I'm selling some. I'm selling
Bama stock. Something ain't right over there. There's something wrong, and it's something spoiled in the water or the juice over there, man.
Yeah. Does it worry you though about the game that you got coming up in 3 weeks with them? Week 4, you get them at home, and y'all haven't even been beating them at home. So this last time was like 1980. So it make you feel better about winning, but do you feel like does it concern you that if you don't?
Yes, it does. It concerns me to a point. It concerns me to the point of, why we keep losing the freaking Bama. But other than that, it don't concern me because we have shown you that even though we lose to Bama, we can win national championships and have great seasons. But it just would concern me from the standpoint of even when they down or they look down and they're not playing as well and got a new coach, we just can't seem to beat y'all. So it'll concern me from that standpoint, but not big picture. No, it wouldn't.
Okay. ACC was the best conference in college football until last night, at least. I don't know about all that. Selling stock and selling your Beamer stock is what somebody said. I ain't never bought it. I wouldn't even buy it.
I'm holding. I ain't got no reason to sell it. What I'm selling it for? If anything, I would be buying because I was a little bit low on them. I thought they took
buying the dip. You buying the dip here? Buying the dip?
I think it's on the rise. I mean, I'm holding. I don't see no reason.
You on Beamer?
Yeah. Oh. I'm holding. I ain't got no reason to sell right now.
Why would you hold Texas stock? That's silly shit. You shouldn't even have it.
No, I'm telling you what. I'm selling right now so I can get it cheaper because it came in priced too high. It came at the IPO price on Texas came in way too high.
Let's see how they respond. Now you're playing UTEP and Sisters of the Poor for the next 3 weeks, so we'll see. But really until the Florida game, right?
Listen, Texas. I don't know if I love stock. That's why I love my show on Wednesday. Texas is like a Tesla stock. It just moves. It's unconventional. Everybody love Tesla. They don't care what Elon do. People buy Tesla stock. That's what Texas was. Now he done shit it on the field. I need for it to drop low. And once it start consolidating, meaning by the time we get in the conference play, that when I buy it back. And then I want it to rise back up.
I don't know that I believe it. Dude, they played UCLA. For fuck's sake, they played UCLA, guys.
What a bad decision that was by Nico, right?
Terrible decision. You're gonna go to a place that your offensive guys are running backs. Your coaches are running backs, former running backs. It's not good. It's not good. Terrible coaching, terrible program in general. They don't want to give no money to it. None of that shit. The only reason they got drug along to the Big Ten is because you got to play that game against SC, and they said they wanted it to happen. They were definitely the other team in that deal. The Big Ten wanted USC. They took UCLA because they wanted the market. That's it. That's all of it was, because they don't give a shit about football at UCLA at all. At all. And so whatever. I'll buy into Utah when I see them do it. Look, Devin Dampier looks really good, but he can't throw the ball. And he didn't have to throw the ball against UCLA. So we'll see, man. We'll see. There's other teams in that conference. There's other teams in that conference that are pretty good. TCU beat the brakes off of UNC last night. What the fuck was that about?
I was talking about that earlier. Listen, man, this is one of the saddest things in college football, because what UNC did, they went for a money grab to sell tickets. Man, you could have went out there and got a young upcoming head coach cheaper and put out a better product than that shit that Bill Belichick put. Bill Belichick just stole an opportunity from another coach, man. That's the saddest thing about that, in my opinion. Because they did a money grab. They just wanted to sell some tickets, bro.
Yeah. Wild. Wild.
That shit was horrible.
Yeah, no doubt.
You down by 35 points and your quarterback has thrown the ball 10 times? How does that make sense? And the other quarterback don't threw it 35 times at that point. What is it? And then you paying the quarterback $4 million, Jason?
Make it make sense, bro. Oh, man. Yeah, Nico made a big mistake. He made a big mistake, boys.
Yeah, he had the keys to a Ferrari and just gave it up for,
But again, I'm going to tell you this. It ain't all his fault. It's just as much Tennessee's stupid ass fault for the way that they're the ones that taught him to do business that way. I'm not going to sit here and say that Tennessee's, I don't know. And good for them doing that to Syracuse and whatever. That quarterback only passed for like 56% or something like that. So maybe it was a little higher, but it was under 60.
They look better than I thought they would.
They look better than I thought they would too. But again, it was Syracuse. What does that mean? You know what I mean?
Syracuse, actually, I had higher expectations for Syracuse. They lost a lot, but I
like their coach. I like their coach, but I think that they lost some guys that it's going to make it hard for them to be that competitive this year. I think they were better than last year for sure. They were better.
It's hard for a team like that to reload. They're not built like that yet.
Yeah, I think you're right there too. But then his brother came with them from Arkansas too, which was wild. I mean, you got a chance to get coached up by Petrino, and you're going there to be coached up by some running backs. That's wild shit, man.
He wanted to be closer to home. Let him tell it, right?
Yeah. Well, his dad certainly did. I think his dad made a mistake.
Yeah.
I think his dad.
His team, whoever the team was.
Yeah, it's his pops. It's his pops. They made a mistake, but
they shot their wad.
They did, and I think had they played it a little cleaner, they should have played it. I mean, because whenever you don't show up to practice, and that added to that narrative that he's not a team guy, and then they talk about how he asked for more money before the playoff. He wasn't the only one, but he's the only one that they said the name of that asked for more money before the playoff game. So, I mean, it ended up, look, Tennessee played it well to make themselves look good, but it doesn't, again, I'm going to tell you that I'm not giving Tennessee no love on it. But Nico's dad needed to play that much better, shut up a little bit, and make him go to practice. Look, if you're not going to be there, fine. Don't miss practice. The last spring practice, you could have done that the week later and it doesn't look the same. You do that a week later, it doesn't make you look like that. And then even a place like Tulane would have been better for him. You know what I mean? A place like that or whatever. Go somewhere else, ball out. You can't go to UCLA, man. You cannot. Whoa.
You can't lead the SEC. If you lead the SEC, you got to go to the Big Ten. Like, look at the schedule.
Well, he did go to the Big Ten, but he's just one of the little teams in the Big Ten.
Right. Cause what I'm saying is like, this what I be trying to tell people all the time is like this right here. I don't care where you go. If you're not playing in meaningful games, it doesn't matter. People want to see you in January because guess what? Ain't nobody else playing. I mean, everybody got to watch you because ain't nobody else playing. So you playing, you can make more money playing in January than you could at another school playing the whole year. Because in January you just get 20 times, 100 times the exposure. And those games mean that much more. And that's what the guys who go to the NFL are looking for. And the guys who come from the NFL are looking for when they're looking for college players. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think that I'd say it's a bad move. And the thing is, like I said, you can't set that off on college football the way that Tennessee did and then bitch about it when it burned you.
Yeah.
You know? Right. When you don't like, oh, we're not going to put up with this anymore. Well, you're the one that started this shit, suing the NCAA over the way you recruited the man.
Can't pull a Nick Saban. You can't get mad when everybody else started really paying players and now you want to leave how everybody else can do what you've been doing. You just were doing it better under the table.
Yeah, fair enough. Shots are still being fired at Alabama's direction.
I really want to say something else, but I'm on your show. I want to use the F word to them. Hate Alabama.
Hey, listen. I don't care. You already know. I say the F word all day long. So you can say whatever you want.
Listen, man. You just like me. You see when they come on these shows and these podcasts and they got their chests all out, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? But man, shit, I don't feel sorry for you.
Ain't no fun when the rabbits got the gun. Did you see T-Bob talking that shit about him on Barstool? Oh Lord, let me find that. It's fucking great.
It's hard to be found now.
Let me see.
Be on all the other podcasts popping up and showing out, and you know what I'm saying, telling the these takes where you at.
It was pretty funny, man.
No, I didn't see it, but in all fairness, man, you know, I really think they know it. If they know football, they know they got a problem, man, that they got to get fixed. You know, I don't want to keep harping on Alabama, but it's a hot take. It's one of the most shocking things that you have seen. And I said on another show, you know, Jason, this is the first time it's truly that we watching in live time that, you know, we seeing the effects of the portal and NIL because it's the first time since the poll era since 1936 that 4 teams had lost in the top 10. The parity is coming more and more.
More parity is definitely here than you've ever seen. I don't know.
I mean, you still got the same. It's spread among.
I think there's going to be a reversal in some of that to some extent.
Possible. I see that.
Because here's the thing, they're, you know, now that they're doing actual rev share and they're trying to control what you can do NIL wise, but we know they're never going to be able to do that. The rev share makes it, that's where the equal stuff is going to be. But there's some programs that can afford one or the other. They're not going to be able to afford both. At least not all the time.
Well, I think the top teams are still going to be who they are. I just don't think it's going to be as much consistency. I think the baton will be passed a lot more frequently. Like, you won't see, like, back-to-back national championships. You won't see, like, a team like Ohio State just it's going to be passed. The baton going to be passed a lot more, I think. That's all. It just won't be that constant 2 or 3 teams that's winning the national championship every other year or so. I think there'll be some, just a little bit more, how can I say, improbability.
Well, I think there's going to be more teams that can win it from here on.
Right.
But it won't be, it's not as many as everybody's acting like it's going to be.
Hold on. Whoa. Who was that?
What?
Oh, just to answer that question, it was an OU friend, that Christopher. Oh, no, he's not losing his job to Dwight Phillips. Not by a long shot. Matter of fact, to be honest with Dwight Phillips, I think he's earning some snaps, but he's probably going to be more of that third down back, change of pace kind of thing. I think he really has another year before he really starts to get a lot of film. But we may find some spot duty for him this year. We're pretty deep.
Yeah, Drew, I'm not even paying attention to you, bro. I could give a fuck what you think, bro.
What Drew talking about?
I don't even know. I'm literally not paying attention to him. He's talking about stating facts. I don't care what he's talking about. All right, real quick. Let's pop this up there. Let me hit the play on it. It's pretty funny.
Oh, Alabama is officially dead. Dead. It's over. It's over, Alabama.
One game.
You fucking cocksucking pieces of shit. You cocky fucking penthouse living motherfuckers. Used to sit up there and used to piss on all of us. When you beat us, you would say, oh, well, you should be happy. You put up a good fight. Blah, blah. Fuck you, you fucking cunts. Your time. Now you're down here in the suck. How does it feel? And the best part is, I know it feels worse for you than it feels for us because you're not used to being here.
All right, that's enough so I don't get fucked with on the rest of it.
I was about to ask you how you get to play that. But anyway.
It was from Twitter. Yeah. It was on Twitter. They've posted it there, so I just posted it as Twitter feed. I may end up having to clip it out. So it is.
I feel his energy. I mean, I'm not at that fever pitch. I don't have that much skin in the game, but I get it though. I get them because I have to deal with it. So I understand. I feel it. I love it actually. I wish I could say some of the things he was saying.
And even to be fair, I was talking to Coach Sean and Brinsky earlier. They were both laughing about it. They were both laughing about that. They thought it was hilarious. So,
I mean, listen, man. One of the most famous quotes, man. Every king has their run and they die. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how it goes, folks. Basically saying you have your time. Every king had an era, then it's time you die. It's over with. The next one comes.
True.
And Alabama has been fortunate. They have had one of the longest runs of any school in, history. 15, 20 years of dominance. You know what I mean? I was telling Coach I about this other day. I think, because I said it's normally around 7 to 8 years. I think we've had our time. Anything else to me is icing on the cake. Because it's about time for us to pass the baton to somebody else. That's just how it goes. Everybody how they run.
Yeah. Well, I think that you've seen a few cracks in the facade, man. You have.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
And I mean, I'm not saying that everybody's still picking them to win the SEC. I don't even have a problem with that. I felt like Alabama would find a way to bounce back and I would say this, clearly, unless they flip it completely from what we saw last week, I was dead ass wrong. But I would tell you that I think I would have expected more pride out of those guys that played with Coach Saban already, or they were recruited by Coach Saban and them guys, because those dudes are still there, right? So for them to completely flip to this other way it's a little early for me. It surprises me that it came. I expected them to kind of stick around. Now, what I think about Georgia, I think that Georgia is still. They still have all that talent. You talk about it.
Be relevant. We ain't just gonna fall off the face of the earth. I'm just saying.
I don't remember them being completely irrelevant either. You know what I mean? I'm just
talking about in terms of having that dominance,
dominance is. I don't know that dominance is ever going to really be a thing anymore for anybody. I think that you've got your rotating, say 10 that probably win natties. but I don't see a bunch of teams winning 2-3 in a row. Or I mean, you never win 3 in a row anyway, but I don't even see a bunch that are going to be winning a couple in a row. I have a hard time seeing that happen because of the way that the money situation, you win one and all of a sudden somebody can say, hey, we'll pay you double what you're making there to come here. I think it's going to be harder to do. On top of that, I mean, you can also go into the NFL as well and with coaches and everything else. I think it's harder now.
Yeah,
I don't think that Alabama wins 6 if there was a bigger playoff. A 14 playoff, it makes it easier. Winning 2 games ain't the same as winning 4.
When are you talking about? When are you talking about? Because at some point it just was just about talent. They just had better players.
Sure, but I'm saying like even with the way that it was, if they'd have had a 12-team playoff, does Alabama win 6 of them? Probably not. They might have won 3. They might have won 3 or 4. They're not going to win 6 because there's just more opportunities to get beat, somebody to get hurt.
Right.
Certain city. I mean, it's a different game. We're talking about a different game right now.
Yeah, but it just depends on, like, again, just playing devil's advocate. Depending on how far you go back, it was just easier for the teams who we're talking about to stack depth. Now you just can't have that depth anymore because the talent is so far spread it out. So if you're talking about early 2000s, Alabama probably could have done it back then because, I mean, they didn't do it then, but I'm just saying it was more likely that they could have done it just because back then the NIL and the portal wasn't there. They were still able to stockpile talent. That's the problem that teams are having now. You can't stockpile talent. You have some, maybe 1 through 35, the best teams. But after that, it's a big drop off. When you get into your 3s.
Definitely be able that they could stack the rosters the way they could. Okay. I mean, I don't know though. I think that again, there was times that maybe they would have, because maybe if there was a 12-team playoff, they probably would have got more teams in when they lost two games. And maybe they're the best team in the.
Yeah, they still had the best talent, the most players. It wouldn't have. Because the other team that you put
maybe
in
they
there,
win as many, but you still have to win more games. All I'm saying is some things can happen. The longer you have to play, the more. And I think moving forward, especially in the fact that you can't stack the rosters the way you were before, because they're not going to wait to play.
Right.
That being said, I think that it's going to be tougher to win a couple, even 2 in a row. I just think it's going to be harder to do.
Shit, even 2 and 3 years, 2 and 4 years, like it's going to be tougher now.
Yeah. And the conferences are stronger. Mm-hmm. When you add good talent to these conferences, it makes it harder to get through the conference. I just think it's harder. I think it's harder.
You think kids who don't make the playoff will be opting out of bowl games more likely than not?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think bowl games are dead. I gotta tell you, I think bowl games are dead.
But you know what? Honestly, and to your point, to that question, that actually may not be bad from a coaching standpoint, because now you ain't got to worry about playing them, giving them snaps. You trying to get a young boy snap for next year anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
The older guys are really taking snaps away because they're not coming back. We don't see what you got. Please go on. Bye. See you. Thank you. Right. I want to put the young guys in anyway, so that may not be bad from a coaching standpoint.
No, yeah, probably. I think they're still going to play them because there's money in it. There's still money being thrown at it, and you want to take the money if you can. But I think that they're going to have to make it into something more. You're going to have to do something else with it to make it more attractive to the players.
Share the ball.
Pay them some fucking money.
Share some ball.
Pay the players some real money. Yeah.
Start giving them PlayStation and give them some money.
Mm-hmm.
Cause some of them bowl, depending on where you go now, them bowl packages be nice now, depending on where you go.
Drew, you really are a dumb shit. You really are a dumb shit today. I hadn't been watching all your comments. This last one is a real doozy. Sooners made a living off of stealing recruits from Texas, scheduling cupcakes until the Red River, Meanwhile, Texas is playing real competition. Since when? Since what are you even fucking talking about? Losing to competition, sure. Dude, it's been 2 years that y'all have been worth a fuck. And you didn't even win anything in those 2 years. One Big 12 championship, one. Oklahoma won fucking 14 of them to your 4. Come on. Shh. Be quiet. It's so stupid, dude. Oh, I love Texas fans and their no. Now you in here, we in here whining and shit because y'all got beat this weekend. Now they're in here whining and bitching. I love it. I love it.
But that's a great thing about the season, man. It's a long season. You got plenty of time to bounce back. A lot can happen.
But they will gag their asses off. Watch. Yeah, against less opponents. You didn't play the best opponents in those CFP games there, Benji. Good for you guys.
Just, I know you don't care about the rankings, but how you feel about it? Do you feel like Oklahoma moving up in the rankings was appropriate, the spot they landed in?
Did they move up in the rankings?
I thought
they stayed the same in the AP poll. The AP poll, they stayed the same. That's the only one that
I haven't seen them.
I don't know what the ESPN ones were. I doubt they moved up any. They played an FCS school. Again, I don't care about the rankings. I think that if you beat Michigan, you'll move up. You know what I mean? And Michigan's ahead of them by what? 2 spots in the rankings, I think.
15th. I don't know what they are now.
I think they're 15th. Let me see. Let me go back to it and see.
I know there was a lot of movement in the top 10, but I didn't see a lot of the full rankings.
Well, it had what was it? Bama dropped way back, and then
Bama dropped like to 21 or something like that.
Yeah, AP top 25 week 2. Let me see.
Yeah, but they they lost to an unranked team, but the fall 20 spots there. Yeah, they hit Bama with some heat. I think they felt.
Well, and rightfully so, man. They played that bad.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that you had to move Florida State up as much? I think you probably had to move them up quite a bit because of the fact that you probably had them misranked, you know? But you have...
Where they moved Florida State to?
Florida State's like 14th, I believe.
Damn.
Yep. They moved them up to 14th. Michigan is 15th. Iowa State is 16th, 17th SMU, and then Oklahoma's 18th. Now, I think SMU and Iowa State being above Oklahoma, I think is stupid.
I haven't seen SMU play this year. I like their quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think much of SMU. I'll just be honest with you.
I haven't seen them play this year.
I haven't seen anything that made me think that they were great. So
they
didn't beat anybody good last year. So until they do, we'll, whatever it is, what it is. I'm gonna pop that up on the screen real quick.
The quarterback is explosive. He can cause some problems.
He's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good. But I just think overall, I'm not big on SMU. All right. So as you see, we've got Ohio State moved to number 1. Penn State stayed where they were. LSU jumped up quite a few spots. I think they were like around 7th or 8th. They moved up to 3rd. Georgia.
They did. Clemson was for 3. So
it's a big win. Yeah, it's a big win. I think they basically just replaced Clemson, and Clemson replaced them, I think.
Swapped them out.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Miami moved up quite a few spots for beating Notre Dame.
How long?
Notre Dame basically dropped 1 spot. They only dropped 1 spot. Notre
Dame only dropped 1 spot. Now, see, that's some fugazi in this right there now.
I don't know. They went on the road and they lost by 3 to a ranked team.
Texas went on the road and lost by 7, and they lost. They went 7 spots down, 6 spots down.
But there was a different way that they did it too. I mean, Texas didn't do anything in the game,
but still the score was 14-7. No matter what.
I guess, man. I guess.
Damn, 6 spots and they only moved 1 spot.
Yeah, they only moved 1. Damn. Pretty sure it was only 1, wasn't it? Isn't that right?
I thought Notre Dame was top 10.
I think they might have been. I think they were 8th, 7th or 8th or something like that. So they didn't move more than a couple of spots for sure. I don't remember from last week, but I'll just be. But that was the average about where they were around all the polls was somewhere between 7 and 9. I've seen them anywhere
And
from
like
7 to 9.
they lost and they was at 3 and they fell 5 spots.
They switched places with the team that beat them.
Right, which was a top 3 team. I'm just talking about in terms of Notre Dame comparing apples to apples. Notre Dame only moved 1 spot from a loss. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, that's what it is.
Notre Dame was 6th, you thought Trojan Fight said? They may have been. I don't remember from the AP or not. I know they were anywhere from like 6th to 8th in like all the different polls. So that's
they didn't move more than 1 or 2 spots at the end of the day.
They still didn't move them a ton. And it is what it is. I don't think you're going to see a ton of movement yet. You know what I mean? And I don't know that you should.
South Carolina top 10? Jeez.
That was a little wild to me.
Oh, that's why that guy was talking his little pop today. Okay, I didn't know they were right.
What did he say?
He said something like, if your team not 1-0 right now and you're not in the top 10, you need to get better.
You got to let Stat Guy say his shit because it's rare that he gets to say it for very long. It's rare he gets to say it for very long, and he won't be saying it for very long this year either. They're going to get their ass kicked.
That's why he said that.
But that's funny. That's about right.
Illinois, Florida moved up 2 spots. I see. I think they were 15. Damn, so Oklahoma stayed pat because I think y'all were 18. Y'all just stayed pat.
They stayed in the same spot.
Yeah, so that don't make sense to me, though.
Yeah. Drew, quit whining and stop using all caps like you're yelling at everybody. Nobody fucking cares what you're talking about. Shut up.
Texas fan, why play these difficult games early?
Whiny bitch.
Cost us for decades.
Now you starting to act like a fucking Big Ten school, bitching about playing tough games in the non-con. Shut up already.
Yeah, because if they would have won, he wouldn't have said that.
Fucking yeah.
It's like, oh look, we come out
you to do that.
Come out the gate playing the top 3 teams.
You to do that shit, you whiny bitch. Good Lord.
Moving the goalpost. Shout out to Drew though, man. At least you stand in the chat, keeping us on our toes, man. Nothing else.
Whiny bitch. Yeah, you can keep it up. Stop using all caps before I block you. Knock that shit off. Ass clown. Knock that shit off.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Now, who are the games you talking about playing that nobody else does? Because y'all happen to play Oklahoma. I mean, not Oklahoma, but Ohio State this year. You know, schedules are generally made 5, 6, 7 years in advance.
Yeah. Notre Dame. That's why Notre Dame's still ranked above USC. Notre Dame's still willing to play the game. Correct.
USC knocked somebody head in this weekend too, though, didn't
I warned you, dude. I warned you.
Utah, Texas Tech.
You'll get him a 10-minute timeout. Calm your fucking nerves.
Top 22. I didn't see A&M. I haven't seen anything on them yet. I haven't seen
Texas A&M. Well, they were really close to you with UTSA. Was really tight with them for longer than they should have been. For sure, longer than they should have been.
I know they brought in quarterback,
bro. Y'all ain't. Let me ask you a question, Carlos. It took you 50 fucking years to win an outright natty. After you know, and then you promptly turn around and don't back anything up. You beat Ohio State. Good for you. What else you got? What else you got? Stop with the Big Ten talk already. Stop it. You guys got to quit. Drew punching air right now.
About the shirt. I'm like, hold on, no homo now. No Diddy.
Yeah.
Somebody direct your attention to Shawty chin, then look down. I'm like, what? Okay, talk about the shirt.
Oh, bullshit, dude. And Trojan Fight's acting like, you acting like that isn't a Lincoln thing about not wanting to play good competition. That is a Lincoln thing. You know it's a Lincoln thing. Let's look at your non-conference schedule this year. It's trash. And John McKay and Coach Robinson are rolling over in their fucking graves right now for the schedule that y'all are playing. Come on. Acting like the damn Big Ten matters. Shit. Oh, we got the toughest. You don't even play Ohio State, bro. You're playing Michigan and you're playing Oregon and who else this year? Come on, bro. Knock it off.
Where you rank Michigan in that conference right now? 4th, 5th place, maybe?
5th, probably. 4th or 5th. Yeah. Probably 5th. Maybe 4th. I don't know. Let's see. It'd be Ohio State, Oregon. Penn State, even though I don't think much of Penn State. I think that they play a shit-ass schedule, too. So, yeah, probably Michigan after that, or I guess maybe Illinois. Everybody's high on Illinois.
Wow.
What has the SEC done?
Come on. Really?
Come on, bro. Stop it. I mean, this is when we're going to hear shit about bowl games mattering and shit like that. They matter whenever you win the motherfucker. They don't mean shit when you don't.
Carlos, you are a provocateur. It takes one to know one.
Yeah, it's fair. Carlos.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
4 top 15 teams isn't enough for what? 4 top 15 teams? No, it isn't. And especially right now, they're top 15. Which 4 are we talking about? We're talking about Oregon. Oh, you're talking about Michigan being one? They ain't going to be in the top 15 for long, bro.
Oh, they're talking about the strength of the Big Ten?
Yes. No, it isn't enough. And this is stupid. I'm going to say it to you, too.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
It's not good.
That's a fair statement. Now that put things in perspective, Carlos. Now that's, I can understand that feels a little bit better. I give the SEC.
If you're only going to go by natties, you're still way the fuck behind. Because in the last 21 years, the SEC, or the last 20 years, the SEC won 14 national championships. You guys winning the last 2 puts you at 5.
And
3. Sorry, 3.
And just to be fair, when you make those kind of statements, you got to at least be talking about the last 5 years. You can't just say the last 2 years. You got to at least be talking about a recruiting cycle when you're talking about a conference and who's the best. Can't just say 2 years to make it fit your argument.
That's all they got. What else do you have? Oh, we beat South Carolina. We beat Texas A&M. Okay. Michigan beat an Alabama team that we are watching crumble before our eyes. Whoopty fucking shit.
And we know about Penn State. When had they won a big game? Like
gold full of shit. Penn State ain't shit.
What's my boy name?
They beat SMU and freaking Boise last year, and then got beat by Notre Dame.
What's his name? The head coach, the bald head guy from Vanderbilt. What's his name? The glasses. What's the Penn State head coach?
Oh yeah, coach. Yeah, since that's Coach.
Man, I can't think his name either. But
you just blew me. Yeah, no, it's.
Cause we talk about Lincoln and Sark. He don't win big games. He treat big games.
Oh, you about Franklin? Franklin right now. Franklin, yes. Yeah, Franklin. No, Franklin. I thought you were talking about Joe Pa.
No.
I don't ever talk about Joe Pa, but yeah, Franklin.
They were just talking about how Penn State
full of shit. And just the look that he got in his press conference, disrespecting Notre Dame and Freeman the way he did. Freeman's done a lot more just in those few years that he's been there than what we've seen out of James Franklin. He's beaten Ohio State 1 time. He's 1-11 against them.
Like he got a bad record against ranked top 10 teams, period.
Hey, Lane beat the shit out of him 2 years ago in that New Year's Six Bowl. Ole Miss beat the brakes off their asses. You know, New Year's Six games, at least those games that most of the time they gave a shit about them. You know, unless you're Florida State and you had a reason to bitch, and you had a reason to bitch, but you should have played your players. It would have looked a lot better. You're bitching about the playoff if you'd have, not got beat by 60 by Georgia.
But your comments is jumping.
Oh yeah, they're talking shit. Talking that shit. Bama played their starters in the bowl game. Like their players opted in before the combine. So what?
So when we talk about standards all the time, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, Carlos. Do you really understand what you're saying? Like you trying to talk ish to us, but you really just proving the standard that we have.
They've had more, and think about this too. Before you talk the standard, go with the draft classes. The SEC puts more people in the draft every fucking year, and they're still doing it.
But he said, "Cause we haven't won the conference in 2 years, we have fallen. I mean, the Natty in 2 years, we have fallen off." That's my point. You can't just talk about the last 2 years for it to fit your narrative. When you're talking about conference and things like that, you have to talk about a recruiting class. You have to talk about at least 4 or 5 years. Stop trying to talk about the last 2 years for it to fit your narrative of y'all winning, bro. Be fair. If you're gonna do it, just be fair.
And saying that you got to give Franklin credit for what he turned PSU around. No, he didn't. They had already been turned around. They had already been turned around by the coach that's at Boston College right now that nobody likes. Nobody loves him either, but he had already done that job. And it's Penn State. It's not like it's that hard to recruit there.
He brought y'all right back to where y'all was. He held it pat.
Yeah, but
not
breaking the change had already happened though.
Yeah.
The stuff after all that stuff with Joe Pa and all the sex stuff that was going on, that was fucked up. But that shit had been turned around by the coach before. You guys know it and I know it. Don't give me that bullshit. And loving on James Franklin is wild to me. Sooners for life. Wild to me. KU? Come on.
I'm going to tell you what about James Franklin. Let him take a step back 1 or 2 seasons. Because the sandwich already, they tired of that sandwich. They ready for him to break through the ceiling. Let him have an 8-4 season. Let him have an 8-4 season back to back or 9-3 and they don't make the playoff. They'll be talking about getting rid of him.
That's the thing. He's going to make the playoff again because they don't play anybody. They literally play 2 teams that are worth the shit the entire year.
At 9-3, coach. I mean, Jay, he won't make it at 9-3.
He'll make it at 10-2. Mm-hmm. And he's not. I mean, they literally play 2. I don't even know that the other one's a losable game. One of the games. Let's see. Let me look at their schedule real quick. I looked at it before. The Penn State schedule's whack. Okay. So they got Oregon. Yeah, they've got Oregon and Ohio State pretty much.
That's it.
They're playing Villanova. They played FIU. Or no, they play FIU. In Villanova.
They got Indiana.
Huh?
Don't they got Indiana?
Indiana ain't worth a shit. We already know that. Okay, at the end of the year, they're number 23 right now. Let's see.
Maybe Nebraska. That'll be a good game, Nebraska. I think they might be a little underrated.
It might be a good game. It might be a good game, but if it is, I don't think.
But to your point, it is not a daunting schedule. It's not a daunting schedule at the end of the day.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. I feel you. I'm not buying the Big Ten yet. And listen, you guys can talk all that shit you want to. And look, go read my column, what I was talking about with it. Go read my column. It's on Hall of Fame Media, hofmedia.us. Go in and read the column about it. Because here's what happened. When you did all this shit with the go to the 9 games, and y'all were sitting there talking all that stupid fucking shit about you play a 9-game conference schedule versus the SEC's 8-game schedule. When the SEC also played a Power 4 program, it's in the rules that they have to play a Power 4 opponent in the non-con. And y'all were still talking all that shit about 9 games. Like it fucking mattered. But guess what? All you did was now they are going to play that 9th game, and they still have to play a Power 4 non-con, which means that they're going to get 10 Power 4 opponents, and they already get the benefit of the doubt anyway. They already get the benefit of the doubt anyway. You're fucked. Because strength of schedule, and now the strength of schedule matters more because they made that happen too. You guys are fucked. You just fucked up.
They did it without saying it. Y'all just guarantee we're gonna get 4 of them things. That's all it did. They just didn't want to. They wanted to admit it, but all they had
4, by the way. At least 4. You just they fucked themselves. They thought that that was such a big ass flex for the Big Ten. That was not much of a flex. That was a stupid thing that y'all were doing, and now you're gonna get burned over it.
You just really you really can't backtrack. Like you really just kind of proved the argument that we've been trying to make. Our schedules are harder than yours, so therefore, you know what I mean, we're gonna get that extra. We're gonna get more than y'all based off the schedule.
Yep. They even added another piece to it that has to do with strength of schedule. You're fucked. The
measure
stupid by the Big 12 and Big 10 because the Big 12 was doing just as much screaming. Dumb.
Now, what it may prompt some teams to do, it may prompt some of these, weaker P4 teams to maybe schedule some out of conference games in other P4 conferences. What you think?
You just that, get some of the P4 teams.
So what it may do is for some of the weaker P4 conferences, a la ACC, a la is it still the Big 12, Big 12, Big 16, however many it is over there? They may have to schedule other Power 4 out of conference games to strengthen their schedules, as opposed to playing, smaller schools, FCS schools, or whatever you want to call them, whatever they call.
Drew, you're not helping yourself right now, bro. You're sitting here talking like you're acting like a fucking Big Ten team, bitching about schedules. Are you fucking joking me? Because y'all couldn't handle your fucking water on Saturday? When all the fucking hype has come, you've come in with all that hype, you go and gag it off and fuck it off, and you're going to blame it on the fucking scheduling? When y'all had the easiest SEC schedule in the country last year? Shut up.
You talking about Drew the Longhorn?
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot today. What is wrong with you, bro? Y'all played a fucking training wheel schedule in the SEC last year. Fuck. Training wheels. The only good team, and including Oklahoma, because they were not good last year. And so the only good team you played in the regular season was who? Georgia. And you played them twice, and they whooped your ass twice. Fuck out of here. Carson Beck goes down, they beat you anyway. Shut up already. It's not about your schedule. It's about your sorry ass fucking coach. The last 20 years. Nobody gives a fuck about your last 20 years comment either when y'all were going 7-5 every fucking year. A blue blood going 7-5 in the Big 12 when it was getting worse. The Big 12 was getting worse by the year, and y'all are going 7-5. Shut up, dude. Shut up. Quit talking. You got to be kidding. Like I would let you fucking call in. He said earlier, let me call in. No way I want to hear your shit. No way. Ask Clown Central over here today. It's Ask Clown Central. We're at the fuck. What are we doing? Unbelievable.
Listen, man, how long you about to be on? I need to go get some preparation, man. I got to, if you're going to be on, I ain't going nowhere. I just need to go prep something, I can get me a fix and get my medication.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I'll be on for at least a few more minutes. I'm going to talk some more shit to this motherfucker. So when I see you back on the screen, I'll pull you back in.
Well, I'm all right. That's what's up.
All right. Bro, shut up already. We aren't down bad. That's just Drew DeLong. Okay, I'm not saying that. I didn't say anything about you, Benji. I didn't say shit about you. But good Lord. Y'all check out this commercial real quick. Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame College Football. And if you are ready to back your favorite team, the Sooners, and fade that Texas hype train every Saturday this fall, there's only one place to do it, MyBookie. Right now, you can double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up at hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. That's hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. Yep, 100% deposit bonus, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. Whether you're betting college football, rolling the dice in the online casino, or dropping a 10-leg parlay on SEC Chaos, MyBookie has everything you need. Bet anytime, anywhere, on the go, at the tailgate, or yelling at the refs from your couch. Just don't talk trash. Put your money where your mouth is. Hit that link, hofmedia.us/mybookie1000, and get your deposit bonus today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie and Hall of Fame College Football. Are you tired of your game day gear looking like it's stuck in the offseason? Well, step up your fandom with Hall of Fame College Football's official Fanatics partner store. Whether you're a diehard Oklahoma Sooners fan like myself, bleeding crimson and cream, or you rep another one of the SEC's heavy hitters, Fanatics has you covered. Shop thousands of officially licensed hats, jerseys, sideline polos, and exclusive championship merch from the entire Power 4 and Group of 6 too. All shipped directly to your doorstep and fast. Want to gear up like your favorite coaches and players? Are you looking for that perfect tailgate tee or a statement piece for your man cave? Fanatics is your one-stop shop for authentic college football gear from everybody that plays the game. So do yourself and your team a favor. Click our link in the description or simply log on to hofmedia.us/fanatics. That's hofmedia.us/fanatics. And you can shop everything that you want for the best prices of the day right on our Fanatics partner page. All right, I'm back. I had to take an extra little hit off my weed pen for all this bullshit. So I threw the second one up there. All right. We beat Vanderbilt too. Yay. I want OU to keep, I like this one though. I was looking at this. I want OU to keep scheduling the big names of college football. Awesome for fans, regardless of results. Yep. May take an L from time to time, but love seeing guys go out and play great games. Look, I'm totally in agreement with this. And then rivalries are the most important thing in college football, period, end of story. In my opinion, there's nothing else that matters more than rivalries in college football. And so by getting rid of all this shit, look, the 9-game schedule, it didn't help anybody but the SEC. I promise you that. You didn't do anything but help the SEC by demanding that. And the Big 12, keep on demanding the fucking 4 that they do the 5-11 or whatever and straight seeding. That's not going to help you either. The Big 10's the only one that wants to do the 4-4-2-2 at this point. The SEC's all the way in on that 5-11 stuff. Wild stuff. But I agree with you. I'd rather see better games. I'd rather see Oklahoma playing a Nebraska, an old rival, at least every few years or whatever. You know, I want to see these games. I want to see them playing Ohio State and Michigan and all these other programs out of conference that matter. That's better for the fans. It's better for the fans. So if you're loving, hey, Trojan Fight, if you're loving what USC's doing right now, playing the Sisters of the fucking Poor for all 4 of your non-con games, then fine. Fine. But that's sad. I find that to be awfully sad.
That shit gonna have to change, or they trying to make the playoff. They ain't gonna be able to keep doing it.
That's what I'm saying. All that shit that they were doing that, talking that bullshit about 9 conference games. And at the same time, you got Indiana over here taking Virginia, which is a Power 4 program in name only. You take that off your schedule and put on, what is it, McNeese or whoever the hell it was that they put in their place. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. You know?
Go on to a 9-game schedule, then do number, prove the SEC point. That's all they did.
It just made them stronger, dude. It just made them stronger.
Exactly. Prove a point.
I think it's crazy that this is the second time ever us playing Michigan. Excited that football is becoming less regional. Yeah, I like it. And look, I mean, Ohio State hasn't done a great job of non-con scheduling either, except that they at least play one really good team. It seems like more times than not. They played Notre Dame a couple years in a row. Now they play Texas. I think they're playing Texas again. I love it that Michigan and Oklahoma are going to play two of them. I love it. Hey, going to the big house. I'm down for going to the big house. That'd be badass.
So, Jason, let me ask you this. This is a question that, Beamer was asking, and I was with Beamer on this. Yeah. You want us to play a 9-game conference, then you still want us to go out of conference and play Ohio State, Clemson, and all these teams we be playing?
Well, but here's the thing. They're going to, like in Beamer's case, they're not going to stop playing Clemson. They're not going to let them stop playing Clemson. The state legislature will shut that shit down if they try to kill it. Same thing with Florida.
Schedule McNeese State out of conference.
No, I get it. But here's the thing, though. Because they wait. Now, remember, though, they waited to say, okay, a week before they made that decision, they were still saying, fuck you, we're not going to 9 because you're not making because we saw that the strength of schedule metric didn't really matter last year.
Right.
All that really mattered was wins, and that's why Indiana and SMU got in.
Arizona State.
Well, Arizona State won their conference, though. At least if you win your conference, I'm cool with that one.
I'm just going to the strength of schedule.
But I mean, Arizona State was picked to finish last, and they won the Big 12. I mean, they won the Big 12. Now, do I think that the Big 12 top to bottom is great? I do not.
I
think that they're very similar. But I think, I felt like
that same team who won the conference, if it wasn't for auto seeding, they wouldn't have been a top 4. They wouldn't have been a top 4 team. They wouldn't have got.
They were. Clemson ended up not getting a top 4 spot out of the ACC, but they still got 2 teams in, which was wild. That you had ASU got a top 4, but that means that obviously, I think that they only got it because of that auto bid.
Right, with their strength of schedule, ASU could win their conference again this year and mess around and be the 11th seed, 10th seed, maybe.
Yeah.
Based on the strength of schedule.
I didn't time you out again. I chewed your ass out and told you to shut the fuck up. I didn't time you out again, Drew.
Now, what I think is going to make things interesting, Jason, is when these rankings come out, and I'm talking about the BCS rankings, what's going to make it interesting is because you can't punish these people who playing in these conference championship games when other teams are not playing. So that's where I think is going to be interesting when it comes out to rearranging and ranking the top 12 teams after conference play. I mean, conference championship games. Even the loser, how you gonna punish the loser when the other team who sent out there I'm just gonna say like a Notre Dame, which I know they want Notre Dame to be in, but just say Georgia and Texas play in a conference championship game. Why are you gonna punish the loser of one of those teams when Notre Dame didn't play? They don't play a conference championship.
Yeah, you can talk about those cupcakes and stuff, and Notre Dame is being now they're not because they changed to that straight seeding, But like more times than not, they're not going to get a top 4 seeding because they're not playing the conference. They don't want them to. They're not going to want them to get a top 4 seeding, and that's because everybody bitches. I mean, but if I'm Notre Dame, I don't join the conference either. Why should I?
There you go. If I'm Notre Dame, I don't care where you see me. They
made $110 million last year between their playoff share, then their added playoff share stuff, plus, and they didn't have to share that with nobody.
And I'm gonna get in anyway. I just need to win 10 games. So whether I'm in the conference, I gotta win 10 games. Out of conference, I gotta win 10 games. It's the same shit.
Correct. And it is this what it is. I mean, look, none of this, unless they're gonna go to unless they're gonna go on to a one schedule maker for the entire country, all the conferences, then don't talk shit acting like you're better than the SEC at it, because they're actually keeping rivalries going. You're talking about Elon, whoever just said that shit. Who just said it?
Only way
it was dumb. Who gets their rocks off playing Maine and Elon? First of all, Oklahoma ended up with that Maine game because they were moving to the SEC and they canceled the Georgia game. So they ended up with them in Temple because of that cancellation, because they were going to the SEC. Number two, why were they doing 8? Because they were making sure to continue all these ACC, SEC rivalries, like Clemson and South Carolina, Florida and Florida State, and Florida's also been playing Miami and UCF and USF. They're playing the schools within their state that have become good schools, right? They're doing it all the time. Georgia and playing Georgia Tech every year. So Georgia plays another Power 4 school. Last year they played Clemson to start the season and Georgia Tech to end it, along with their 8. So
exactly. We had Oklahoma the year before that, but because of joining the conference, we couldn't do that. And then we also had UCLA, but they ran off the schedule this year.
That's right. That's right.
Which UCLA ain't no big, but it's a bigger school than Marshall and I can't even think about the other schools next week.
Yeah. In the end, it was a dumb move by the Big Ten to say that shit. Acting like, because damn good and well you don't play the same level of a schedule that any SEC team does. You don't. We know it. You know it.
Everybody know all wins and losses are not equal, man.
No, I mean, look, Indiana literally, they went 11-1 and they beat one team with a above 500 record. One.
And got a bye. Didn't they get a bye?
No, they played Notre Dame in that first round. And got the shit kicked out of them.
So they lost their conference championship?
They didn't play the conference championship. Because they lost to Michigan, and then they they beat Michigan, but they lost to Ohio State. So it was Penn State, Oregon in the conference championship. Indiana was but they went 11-1 though. But the only good team, they played 2 good teams in the conference. They played Ohio State and they played Michigan. And you can call Michigan good.
They get to play for the conference championship?
No, they didn't.
So they had a 3-way tie, obviously, in that conference.
No, it would have been, they were tied with Penn State, I guess.
You had to have a tie. That's what I'm saying. How you go 11-1 and don't play for the conference championship?
Well, Oregon was going to be in because they were undefeated. They were 12-0. And then you had them and Penn State were 11-1.
I'm saying it had to be a tie somewhere. It had to be.
There was a tiebreaker there, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was, but anyway, they didn't get into the conference championship game, but they did play in that first round, and they had to go on the road. But literally, until they played Ohio State, which was the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, they played Michigan early on and beat them. Michigan wasn't that good. They didn't have a quarterback at all. Their defense was still good, they were good enough to beat Ohio State, but they got Ohio State's number. For whatever the fuck's going on there, feels like to me Ohio State better win that game this year. Although I don't know that I would just guarantee anything like that when they've lost 4 in a row. But that to pretend that it was different, that you had a better schedule in the Big Ten than the SEC did was fucking nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. Plain and simple, end of story. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit. And if you want to talk about like you could talk about Texas and their little bullshit schedule that they had in the SEC last year. This year it may be a little better. It's going to be better with Oklahoma being a better team. A&M, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what I think about A&M. But Florida should be better. Everybody likes Florida. We'll see. I mean, if DJ's healthy, they're a really good fucking team.
You know what? Let me say, I watched the Florida game. Let me tell you something about DJ Ladway. The thing that I like about him, if I was a receiver, he throws the most catchable ball.
He does.
Like it's so soft. Like you can one hand his ball. You can catch his ball with 2 fingers. So if I'm a receiver, like me as a receiver, I would love, like some guy just have too much velocity. It looked pretty, but it just had too much zip on it, too much velocity. Even like all his balls are soft. They get what they need to get on time, but it's soft. It's like a Peyton Manning. I'm showing my age. It's like a Peyton Manning velocity, but not the spiral, because he ain't had no, but it's like that soft velocity, but a tight spiral. That's the one thing I noticed about his ball when I watched him this weekend. He still got to improve as a passer though. But he does have his nice touch. Well, it's 1:00 and your comments is still going.
Hey, bro, I've already had almost 1,000 views on this shit, man. Everybody's here to see you, bro.
That's what it is.
Everybody's here to see your ass. Missing them some shawty.
That's what's up. I've been on my best behavior tonight, man. Y'all caught me a little bit down. I had just done the show, so I was a little wore out.
That's the way Oklahoma got wins and championships. Yeah, you know what? I said it. Don't say that nobody wanted to hear it, because I said it. That what Lincoln did in the Big 12, taking over the machine that was already running for him. He's looked so much better because of the fact that the Big 12 is god awful. And it was god awful at that time.
My bad, license. You right. License legend, my bad.
All his balls are soft.
my bad.
Look, here's the thing. Even like during that time, Kansas State was going through a bad time. K-State's always one of the best teams in the Big 12. They have been for a long time since Coach Snyder. I'm not hating on K-State, not at all. But when the next best team is either Okie Light or Baylor, not Texas, Okie Light or Baylor, and you're going to talk shit about Oklahoma, it's not whose fault is that all those teams left? Missouri and Nebraska and A&M and Colorado. Why did they leave? Because of fucking Texas and your Longhorn Network. So, and then you still don't fucking find a way to win some conference championships, and it's 14-4. 14-4. Talk all the shit you want to. Texas ain't shit. They ain't done shit.
You're not going to win that battle on this channel, brother. I'm going to tell you.
Never. That. And you know what? You can't win it at all because there's no truth to any of their bullshit that they want to say. You can try it all you want to. It's all bullshit. And I will shut it all down. And I'm not even telling you that I've said 1,000,000 times that all those conference championships and playoff appearances for Oklahoma were half-assed at best. There was 1 year that they should have won the Natty. One. And they didn't, but they should have. So I know that you want to love on your coach there, Trojan Fight. I'm going to tell you, Lincoln it was all smoke and mirrors, bro. All smoke and mirrors. And you knew why, because when they got to the fucking playoff, he got his teeth kicked in.
So Jason, let me ask you this because I hadn't asked you this all night. I'm gonna switch gears. I know you love trashing on Texas. I didn't get a
And
chance. I saw maybe one or two highlights and I read, but I didn't really get to see much, which I'm surprised though. It was just so much. So, how do you feel about Oklahoma's uh their game? Do you feel like they on pace to be where you want them to be? Did you? I mean,
yeah,
what do you grade them out at?
I think they probably have a B minus C plus for the first game because of who you played. I mean, I think that they played a better FCS team, if you want to say that. But they're not supposed to compete with you very well. And for the most part, they didn't. I mean, they didn't put up shit. They got some rushing yards that didn't matter. They got their 3 points that they got was off of a turnover. And really, but that turnover, Mateer, I mean, looking at that, Mateer had a fantastic game. Fantastic game. I mean, he passed 82% completions, right? And if you go back and look at that interception, he threw it on that side of the receiver so that he didn't get his fucking head knocked off, which Jackson wouldn't have done that last year. He got the same guy knocked up, not beaten to death in that damn Missouri game. So I didn't even have a problem with that one. They had a couple of turnovers. They won 35-3, but they controlled every second of it. Do I think that they were great? No. I don't think they were great. I also don't believe that week one you're going to be at your best.
Right.
I think that
you're not showing a lot.
You're not showing a lot. You're not. I mean, yeah, definitely. They weren't going to show anything that Michigan can get a read on. I mean, why would you?
How was your offensive line in terms of getting push and protect
now the protection was very good. The pass protection was fine. The push on the run blocking, it depends on who you ask. I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people think it was because you had one running back that wasn't getting yardage just because he was running into the back of linemen instead of hitting the holes. The rest of them were averaging 6 yards a carry. So I don't think it was as bad as people think. Now, I don't think it was all the way up to par either. What I will tell you is that Bedenbaugh has a history of it taking 3 to 4 weeks before his offensive line gels. It's nothing new. So I'm not ready to make a snap judgment. I'm not snap judging into saying they're going to suck on the line. I'm not making
defense going to carry you in the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah. Defense has to carry. I think defense is better carry you the whole way. Your offense is going to be good enough to, but this is a team that has to be led by defense. That's who they are, right? With John Mateer, that offense can be fucking good too. They've got talent, man. They've got talent everywhere. I think that if anything were to happen to John Mateer, I think that Michael Hawkins has been showing himself to be very good too. He's ready. I think that the sky's the limit for this team. I've picked them to win 9-3 for a year now, basically. I've been saying that's probably where they are. Now, do I think that seeing what I'm seeing around the league, could it be 10-2? Sure. I don't know that I think any more than I thought of Tennessee for beating Syracuse the way they did. I don't think any more of them. I think they're taking a step back. I don't believe in South Carolina.
You sound like you saying your stock is undervalued.
They are undervalued a little bit. Yeah, I think they are. Not by everybody, but by most. I think they're a little undervalued. But here's the thing.
Buy more Oklahoma stock is what you're saying. Buy more.
But I preface that by saying I'm also not giving Oklahoma any more fucking excuses for not winning. I don't care that the schedule is hard. I don't, on paper, the schedule looks like it's the toughest one in the country, according to ESPN. I don't care. You need to go and make a playoff run or at least be in the running for it in the last 2 weeks of the season to where one win gets you in there. I believe that. If they don't get to the playoff, I'm not saying fire them all, but I think that 8 wins, it should keep his job, but that doesn't mean that I don't think that 8 wins is enough with this football team's talent. I don't. I think they will have underachieved if they only win 8.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's basically what you said.
Yeah.
That's
I
tough.
think they will have underachieved. That's just me.
That's tough.
And I do think that the schedule, if you look at the schedule, they play the best of the SEC. They're playing them.
Even though you know he underachieved, you want to give him another year, or you saying you have to give him another year?
They're going to have to give him another year at 8.
So it ain't that you want to, but you're going to have to.
No, part of me wants to, because I think that you lose a lot of your look. I think maybe he doesn't quite get there, but maybe this year really puts them. If you can hold on to this roster, I think you got a chance of winning a natty in the next few years. So yes, I don't want them firing him because they don't get to the playoff. I don't want them to fire him like that. I'm telling you, I won't be happy with the result at 8 wins. I don't think it's enough. That doesn't mean I want him fired, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But you saying he underachieved. You saying to your
absolutely.
But absolutely. You don't mind bringing him back, knowing he underachieved, which is fine. I'm just saying.
I'm saying that, but why am I saying that? Because you will lose that defense that you've brought in. You're going to lose it.
You got more
Venables, you don't got that shit anymore, right?
Gotcha. I got you.
So now the things that gives you an opportunity to win a natty, which is you got to play defense the way that they're going to play defense. You got to. If you don't have Venables, you no longer have that. Right? At least not right away. So I don't want to. I mean, I think that you need to get the most you can possibly get out of this roster. Get all you can out of this roster. And maybe you go out there and win one. But listen, if they win 7 if they go 7-5 or 6-7 or 6-6 again, yeah, they're gonna fire him. They're gonna fire him.
Would you fire BV?
I'd fire him at 6-6. I'd fire him at 6.
Would you fire? I don't care what it record. Would you let him go to get Glenn Schumann?
No. I'd probably let him go to get
Alabama will. You know, he's the number 1 candidate on their list.
Is that right? That's kind of wild to me. I like Schumann. I don't think he's that damn good. Come on, bro.
He off that tree.
I don't give a fuck. No, I would probably if they were to underachieve and you go get
Cartesian, Lane, all these guys relevant.
Okay. What about John Summerall though? I like him. Tulane's coach. Think he's real good.
I like him too. But Schumann is already in the SEC, proven recruiter.
Okay.
I mean, he's on the. But yeah, I mean, I don't want him. Let me stop. I don't even want to talk about it. I ain't even trying to put it in the what they call it, the ether. You know what I'm saying? Because I need him at Georgia, where he at. But he definitely.
I don't even know if I'm not positive that he would or wouldn't be a candidate. Maybe he is.
I think he went to Alabama.
I was talking about Oklahoma. I don't know that he would be a candidate.
Well, I was just speaking in general. But yeah.
I feel like the guy they probably go after, I think there's a couple. I think Summerall would be one of them, but I think he's getting a job this year. So I think it's up in the air. I also think that they would go after, pretty sure they would go after the offensive coordinator at Oregon. But I don't know.
What you think would be? No, I don't want to talk about.
I think it's Dan Mullen. I think their number one choice would be Dan Mullen.
So you'll go back to an offensive guy. That's the question I was about to ask.
Well, maybe. I mean, but at least Dan knows how to build a defense that works and wins a national championship for you. I mean, you know, even though
recruit,
he was right. Yeah, but he does. You don't have to recruit when you're at Florida. I thought that was stupid. They don't have to recruit. He doesn't have to recruit. Florida recruits itself. And so does Oklahoma. Okay. If you show that you care about the defensive side, you can recruit. Fine there. But I think that's that's just my opinion. I may be way the fuck off on that. But I think it's Dan Mullen. And Dan Mullen didn't become the OC because he was like, why? I'm going to help this guy keep his fucking job. I'm going to help this guy keep his fucking job. No, no.
Isn't Mullen at a smaller school now? He's coaching somewhere.
UNLV. But that's just a placeholder for old Dan. Right. He'll win enough there.
He ain't got to win. He'll be gone in 2-3 years. It's just to get back in the groove of things. He has too much cachet. Somebody he'll be back in the SEC or Big Ten. It ain't gonna take long.
Yeah. Ugh. You guys are full of shit, guys. Quit talking about this shit.
And look, that's just like I was telling for everybody want to try to hate, but listen, that's why I like Gus Malzahn. If you give him certain athletes, he can make you look bad.
Yeah.
I like his offense.
I kind of feel like he's kind of happy in being the OC at this point. I think he's made his money. I think he's happy. I think it's a good thing for Florida State. I think it's a good thing for Florida State.
Yeah. And guess what? He gonna get all the credit. He ain't the head coach, but guess what? He gonna get all the credit. Think about it. That's who we talking about. We ain't talking about Norvell. We talking about Gus Malzahn.
I think Norvell's a good coach too. I don't think he's a terrible coach. And he coached with Gus forever.
Right.
So I mean, I think it works well. I think Norvell's done a good job. I mean, I know the way that he recruited Jaden O'Neal and stuff. I mean, the O'Neals got nothing but respect for Mike Norvell. And I know a lot of people, and so does Marcus Dent, and then that they were going to go to Florida State if they didn't go to Oklahoma. That was their next in line. Now, they were about to get an offer from Georgia. They didn't end up going on the trip when they chose Oklahoma. You know what I mean? But so who's to say whether he would have ended up going to Florida State or not? But I know that they really liked Mike Norvell and the way that he recruits and his, you know, I think that the problem with Florida State is that they've become a real, because he was in trouble, and I don't know that it's not going to continue to be this way, but I think that Mike Norvell has proven to have a mercenary thing going on there. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think you've got to develop. And I think that you should be able to develop now. You've got the money that they gave you. I don't think that he's in trouble. And especially now, they just beat Alabama, bro. He got another year just off of that game.
But he just been in such I need a quick turnaround pace since that last little debacle of a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So that's why he's been in that.
Yeah, whenever. Because after the COVID year, they were like, you better win now. You know, it's time for you to win now. So he got deep in the portal, and then it worked, but it didn't get him to that spot. And then, but what happens is when you get all those guys that leave before you could have been playing Georgia and proven that they fucked up not putting you in the playoff. Even if you lose the game, you just don't lose by 60. Then people don't mind hearing that was fucked up, that they kept you out. When you lose by 60, nobody cares.
Well, see, it wasn't even a losing by it's just how they went about it. That just messed up the carryover into the next season, even with recruiting. You see what I'm saying? It just the way that they went about it, how it was publicized, that basically everybody just quit because they felt like they supposed to be. It's just like he didn't have control of his team. You know what I'm saying? It was just once again, go back to that psychic thing, like how I be trying to tell you, just like that broke them. That set them back literally a whole year doing what they did. All those guys opting out and them losing to us like that. It hurt him.
$1 million. What are you guys talking about? BV's pay cut of $1 million. He took a one-time. He approached them about taking a one-time $1 million from his salary to put it into not rev share, into NIL or whatever money to pay players. And this is a bad thing. Why? So Oklahoma's broke because of that? Is that what we're saying? Okay. You guys are grasping at fucking straws. Grasping. What does that matter? What does that matter? He donated it because it's probably because he wanted a certain player and they weren't going to do it. Oklahoma having the money and just blowing the money are two different things. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
Are y'all saying BV took $1 million of his own salary to get a player?
Maybe. He definitely put it into the kitty.
What?
What is that? Explain that part to me. I'm gonna go off camera here for a second, and I'll have you explain to me how that's a bad look on Oklahoma. Please do.
Well, I just don't think that's a good precedence to be setting. Now things can be, two things can be true. You maybe can say he doing it for one reason, where maybe he won't, to show that he's committed or so. I don't know, but me personally, as a coach, I don't think that's what you ought to be doing, because I don't want no other. I don't want no other player that I'm recruiting. Any coach would want that, to think that I have to donate my own. It ain't even donating. Give my salary to get a play. Like what? What? That makes no sense. Now maybe you're gonna come back on and explain to me why it does, but maybe I don't understand what's happening, because what you're telling me I don't. But why would a coach need to donate $1 million of his salary to get a player?
Who's to even say he really needed to, though? I don't think that he necessarily needed to. I'm saying that he did it for whatever. That maybe they were saying we're not gonna overpay for XYZ player. We're not. He wanted to go get Marvin Jones. Maybe they were saying no to it.
No, hold on. First of all, it's his money. I can't tell him what to do. It's his money.
And the other thing is,
you got $1 million and you donate to you could have donated $1 million to a lot of things, but you donated to your own NIL, the school that you coaching.
Well, yeah, here's the other thing. Here's why. I guarantee you why he did it. Nobody's talking about this part, but Joe C's ass comes out there and says that he had to let a bunch of people in the athletic department go to pay NIL prices, to pay for NIL. And so that, I guarantee you, that was so that he could go out there and you don't have to let these people go. Whatever, man.
Yes, but you got to find another way to come up with that money, like from some other. You don't.
Bro, they have the money. They have the money. I promise you, they have the money. It was the dumbest shit I've ever heard of that Joe C came out there and said that, because I happen to know that they have, for this recruiting class right now, they have another almost $30 million sitting there waiting for the end so that they could go get whoever they are after. They're going to make sure that Texas has to spend that $50 million that they were talking about. They're going to make sure.
I don't know. It just don't. That I don't know, Jason. I don't really know about. I just know what y'all telling me.
I know this for a fact, because one of the big boosters is one of the other guys that we're on with all the time. He's tied into these booster guys like crazy. He knows some of this. I'm telling you, they've got money. They've got money.
But so what I'm saying is, figure it out. You don't take a. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't. I shouldn't have to donate $1 million of my salary.
The story is that he approached them, though. It wasn't about that they told him to take a pay cut. They didn't. Brian Kelly did this as well. Brian Kelly also did that.
He did what exactly?
He donated $1 million of his dollars to the NIL.
So what was his reason?
LSU. Because they weren't getting the fucking guys they kept going in on. And you realize that they went stupid heavy in the portal, and I mean, like, everybody says they won the portal.
I had never heard it. It's just something new. I don't understand it. Maybe it's happening more than I know. I don't.
Look, and you could also look at it as, you know what? BV knows his ass is in trouble, and it's like, you know what? I want to make sure I get to keep my day. It's a good investment to keep my job.
Right. It just seemed like his. I get it. I'm just saying, it seemed like they're just ways to make that happen.
Did I say that LSU didn't have money? Did I say that LSU was broke? I've never said that. I said BK was full of shit when he said that they wouldn't buy players at LSU. I've never said they were broke. Never. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. It didn't come from this show. It's never come from me. I'm not one of those, this school's broke, or I don't think any of them are fucking broke. None of them in the SEC. Not one. Even the shitty ones are not broke. If Mizzou can go out there and be a player in NIL, then nobody's fucking broke. I'm sorry. That's all I got to say about that. Come on. It was a national narrative. It was not. It was some ass clown that hates LSU saying it. I don't know who you're talking about. Tell me, cite somebody. Don't say it was a national narrative. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on. LSU's kind of, oh, good Lord. They just had another 5-star flip. LSU doesn't do a good job of keeping their guys in there. And look, they were at their max on Bryce Underwood. You know what their max on Bryce Underwood was? $10 million. They got outbid by $5 million by Michigan. Okay, that doesn't mean they're broke. It means that they weren't willing to pay the same amount of money.
He wasn't gonna get 10 from us.
Yeah, I mean, who else was in on him? Who else was in on him?
We just
Notre Dame? I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, Michigan in a certain spot where they clearly had to make a. I guess it's different. Everybody in different spaces and places, man. Yeah. Everybody's not in the market for a $10 to $15 million quarterback. I don't care. It's just who you are. It's just everybody ain't in that space.
So if Brent gets canned, he will never have to work again. $30 million is he's getting actually. If he gets canned this year, they owe him 35, bro. That million, he gets to write that off. It's a write-off.
Who is Atkinson?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Because if he costs $1 million, I'd rather bust that up into three stars and you know what I'm saying, pay them $300,000 a piece or $333 a piece and develop them or something, depending on who you talking about, what position you talking about. Or 2 4-star stars at $500 a piece. Business, man. You gotta cap, man. Everybody can't. You just got certain money allocated to certain spots and positions. You just can't pay everybody.
Sure, it's a business, and look, they got that. Nobody is fucking broke, bro. You're talking about Dominic Williams. Nobody from Oklahoma called them fucking broke. They said that what he said was, we're not in the business of buying football players. He didn't say they were broke. He said that they want to be bought and we're not going to buy football players, but they buy women's basketball players. So we knew that was bullshit there. That didn't have anything to do with them being broke. It had to do with BK being full of shit.
Well, they want to allocate the money.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with broke. It had nothing to, if you think that LSU's broke, you're a moron.
Yeah, if you're in the SEC, you ain't broke. That's why you're in the conference. You got people with love. Even the worst team in the SEC want a piece of the pie that we get. You could be the worst. You could be Vanderbilt. Another team from the Big Ten would love to get a piece of that pie, whether they win or lose. You just want that extra, $40 million a year we getting?
His exact words, guys, were, players want to be bought, and LSU is not in the business of buying football players. Those were his exact words. Full of shit, but that's what he said. Because you know damn good and well that they pay their players. They pay their coaches. They literally paid $100 million to get Brian Kelly. $100 million. Fuck. Are we even talking about? That's not what it's being. They've got money. It doesn't have shit to do with being broke. It has to do with he wasn't doing a very good job of recruiting them and losing them to other programs. Whether or not it's what they bid, I don't think it was about what they bid. I would be stupid surprised if Oklahoma was very far over the top of them in Texas. Or even Missouri, for that matter, who also wanted Dominic Williams quite a bit. And so did USC.
Well, the best thing that LSU can benefit from is they don't have to go outside of their state too tough to recruit. A lot of them folks want to stay home anyway. They got some of the best further recruiting grounds there is. But at the end of the day, man, everybody it's at the end of the day, you're going to spend your money. It's just like we as people. you're gonna spend your money on what you want to spend it on.
Yeah.
Some people go buy a $70,000 car, and some people go buy a $20,000 car, but got the same amount of money. It just you spend your money on what you want to spend it on. Some people go spend it on a fishing rod, you know what I'm saying, a $700 fishing rod. Like me, I'm gonna go buy a $30 fishing rod and be just as happy. But that don't mean that I can't go buy a $700 fishing rod.
Sure.
I just ain't finna do it.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's about value for you. Where do you valuing them at? I mean, that's the word. Not broke, not being broke. It's about what do you value more. Mm-hmm. And look, if you are so stuck, like we know, a lot of programs are stuck on the 5-star recruit. We also know that a lot of these 5-star guys ain't necessarily 5 stars. It's that they've gone they're not necessarily the best player at their position. It's that they've gone to the camps and they've given these ranking companies a way to make money off of them, click-wise and in advertising and all that other shit. So it works out well. Some of these coaches, Dabo Swinney, make sure that their recruiting rankings on his players get shot up times at the end of the year because his contract gives him more money if he has a better recruiting class.
He got a nice little clause in there.
Mm-hmm. There's others that do. There's Nick Saban had that in his contract as well. Not that he was lacking money. But you mean to tell me, do you believe that Alabama doesn't have money for players just because right now they may not be willing to dish it out to them? Nope. Bullshit. They've got the money.
And then again, like I was saying about earlier about, what your coach did, it's just certain presidents you don't want to set. Like certain things.
I hadn't thought about it hardly at all, to be quite honest with you. I hadn't thought about it at all. I think that it was, if it's anything, Jeff Shear, that cap the NFL, cap the NIL is what Jeff Shear says. Go ahead and get on that one there, Shawty. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, by the way. Stupid. Should cap the NIL? You can't cap the NIL. You cannot.
Name, image, and likeness, you want to cap that?
Can't do it. It will never happen.
Yeah, how you going to say is somebody willing to pay you a certain amount for something on... Why would you say you're not worth? How you gonna say you're not worth it? Is somebody willing to pay? You only worth what somebody is willing to pay. It's called capitalism. That's what America is built off of. It happens everywhere else in business. So why would you try to limit someone's name, image, and likeness? That's me.
Broke or something is hilarious to me too.
Do you understand NIL name? That's me. That's like the way I look, like who I am. How you gonna tell me
cap coaches' salaries then? It's like saying you got to cap the coaches' salaries, or you got to cap Nick Saban's fucking 15 commercials that he's got on top of being when he was head coach. That man made more money off of his name, image, and likeness than anybody. And you want to do that to the players who've been getting fucked for decades?
Jason,
what the fuck are we talking about?
That's just like if you could have a quarterback. I'm gonna give you an example. That's just like you could have a quarterback who is damn near a Heisman candidate, but you could have somebody like Trevor Lawrence, 6'4", cannon arm, hair down to his ass like Thor, and all the ladies like him, and he just a great, product producer. How you gonna tell? That man can make more money than the Heisman guy based on just his name, image, and likeness because of what he brings. He ain't got nothing to do with football. How you gonna cap? So I'm saying you can't cap who and what I am. If somebody willing to pay that, then that's what I'm worth. So you can't cap it. Makes no sense. They don't do it nowhere else in America. They do that. You muted, dog.
In no other industry would you ever expect that shit to happen. Nor would you put up with that shit happening in any other industry in the world.
Hey,
And as
Jason.
far as free speech goes, Drew, fuck you. This is a communist state right here, buddy. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
Hey, Jason. Look, Jason, that's just like somebody, a lady telling you, "Hey, you look like a 4. You can't get with 40,000 for me." But it might be somebody over there saying you look like an 8. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like, it's subjective. I'm worth what somebody say I'm worth. You can't just cap it.
Drew, I've thrown more Sooner fans out of this fucking stream than Texas fans by a long shot. It ain't even fucking kind of close. It ain't even kind of close. No, you're not timed out right now. But I will if I feel like it because it's fucking amusing to me. And you start talking free speech stuff, that it'll amuse me even more. But as far as what Shawty's saying, and Jeff, you got to quit. You got to quit. These guys,
Even free speech has its limits. You can't.
there's no
can't be
free speech has
offensive.
never been free. What are we talking about? Free speech has never been free. You may be able to say it, but there's still consequences for saying whatever the fuck you say in regular life.
There you go.
There's consequences for saying shit that ain't cool.
There you go.
And in here, I mean, just being a Texas fan makes you not cool. So don't expect me to care about your speech. I'll just get rid of it. I do it to Kobe all the time. He throws the horns up at the end of the show, and I kick him out every time, so it takes it off my screen. It amuses me. This NIL is a front for the back. So what? So what? But again, this is assuming now, Jeff. I like it that at least you're going to make this argument. It's the front for the back. But guess what? The bag was doing what was right. Paying these players that were the ones that are generating all the fucking money that college football generates. It ain't generated because of Nick Saban. It's generated because of those football players. The football players that they bring in. So to not give them money was bullshit. The bag man being what it was under the table, quote unquote, against the rules. Okay, fine. So you're saying that it's wrong to make sure that they get to continue getting paid NIL money because the bag was technically wrong. It wasn't wrong, in my opinion. I don't give a fuck. Pay them. They deserve the money. The players have always deserved the money.
So I would say this right here. I don't want to get into it because it's to me it's. But think about this. Look what they giving the players now. Imagine how much that's the whole point of it. If they doing what they doing now, look how many players have suffered from not getting any money on just from a legal standpoint. You got to understand these colleges. I know this firsthand. They were buying fucking $15,000 ice machines and shit just because they had money to spend and had to write off. They had so much money they didn't even know what to do with. How the fuck you just a $15,000 ice machine just because?
Mm-hmm. And they're making all these unbelievable facilities because they ain't got nowhere else to put the fucking money.
And you still giving players millions of dollars. And ain't nothing changed. The product's still good. The viewership going up and up and up.
Sure.
So just
imagine all these players that they wild to me that somebody from Mizzou would say it, a Mizzou fan, Jeff. It wild to me that you would say it because Mizzou is relevant right now if they are, which maybe. They're in the conversation in the SEC because they're spending money, bro. If they weren't, they'd be what they always were.
Listen, you supposed to go to college to be able to better yourself and better your life and your future. Do you know how many generations and families could be changed if NIL was in long when you first got to college? How many lives could have been changed and families catapulted based off them early earnings? being able to earn $3-4 million over a 3-year period, or 4-10 million, however much that's crazy money. Some of these folks ain't going to the NFL. The last time they leave their college, take out their uniform, they're gonna be the last time they play. They're gonna be just like myself and other people, working regular jobs, kicking it with regular people, talking about the stores.
You can't eliminate NIL. They do have a salary cap on the rev share. That's a salary cap. You can't eliminate NIL. And guess what? The only guys that are really going to get all that NIL money are the best of the best of the best players. Most of those dudes don't get shit in NIL. It's a meritocracy still. You stop it. Stop it.
It's changing the game though, man. You just got to make adjustments to it. It's making the game more exciting. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy all the player movement. That's got to get controlled a little bit too. But I enjoy the movement because it makes rosters change over so much.
And you can't, well, and they're not going to let them stop that either because that limits their ability to make NIL money. If you're sitting on the bench at Georgia and you could be starting at Mizzou and making more money in NIL, you should be able to make that move. You should be able to make that move. Because if you're visible, then more people are going to want to pay you.
And I'm sure once this thing gets settled in, you ain't going to be able to move around like that either. Or there's going to be some penalties or some bonuses. Some things going to be exchanged for you to leave. You ain't just going to be leaving. It's going to be some things exchanged, things terminated. It's going to be some circumstances.
The idea that, okay, was the settlement supposed to mitigate? No, they were acting like that was going to mitigate it. Just so you understand, that clearinghouse shit has basically been shut the fuck down. They're not being very loud about it because there were certain people that wanted that to happen. They're not going to allow it to happen. That's being shut down. And then you can't just give NIL money. It's in exchange for service. If you really believe that there's a ton of guys out there that are getting NIL money and not having any service, they're not having to go do ads or whatever the fuck, shoots, whatever it may be, sign autographs, whatever. If you really think that there's a bunch of dudes out there that are just getting paid because they're football players, you're wrong. They're trying to make money off of them. And yeah, maybe they're overpaying them, but if they're willing to pay them, it doesn't matter. Who is this clearinghouse to decide what somebody's worth in NIL money?
And revenue sharing is separate from NIL is separate from revenue sharing, correct?
Of course it is. Just like the NFL. Just like, do you think you get to go tell Patrick Mahomes that you can't do that commercial? You can't make that money from T-Mobile. We know it's bullshit.
T-Mobile,
they're big sponsors of the Chiefs.
There might be certain things he can't do, but you can't tell him how much he can get paid for doing what he do. Like if he signed with Nike, he can't go do no Adidas shit. You know what I'm saying? But you can't go tell him, hey, Nike can only pay you, $20,000, but when Nike want to give you $100, you know what I'm saying?
And they're not going to be able to do it with the collectives either. And on top of that, look, Georgia showed how you could get around that fucking part of it too. Because Georgia gave it off to Learfield. So did Ohio State, by the way. They're a media company. So they get to come in and offer their players whatever the fuck they want to do a commercial for them on their channels, on all their channels. Good luck.
Raisin Cane chicken.
That's right. And it is in name only. I think there's a lot of people that do object to NIL. Absolutely object. And you just said you need to limit NIL. So don't tell me that you don't object to it, because you do.
And when you use NIL, you can't you can't use nothing about the university. So that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the university. You can't mention their name, nothing, no logos, no nothing. It's literally you just using your own name, image, and likeness. That's why it's separate.
Don't you worry about the rich getting richer. Nope, my school's one of the rich ones. And they all got money. Bro, I'm sorry, man. I'm just going to tell you. They all got money. And if you want to spend your money in certain ways, spend your money. My school spends money on football. My school cares about being a football power. I don't give a fuck. Anybody could be that. Not all choose to. Not anybody, but anybody in the Power Four, you've got an opportunity. And not everybody is willing to put their money up to do what you got to do. They don't hire the right coaches. They don't do the things you got to do to recruit better. Whatever, man.
Jason,
whatever the fuck. You got money to do it. You choose not to.
Exactly. I say that all the time. If you're in the conference, that's what I'm saying, guys. If you're in the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, every team get the same slice of the pie. Now, what you do with that money, how you want to allocate it, and the money you get on the outside, what you raise, whatever, that's on you. But if you're in the conference, you got money. You get the same slice that everybody else get. You got to split the money up in the conference. Ain't nobody getting more than somebody else. So just, get better. Hey, man, I need to go eat my dinner. I'm over here snacking all my food. I need to go eat my dinner, man. It's 2 o'clock, man. You muted too, man. You keep
muted. In here waiting too, and I'm in here arguing with these motherfuckers instead. Fuck we doing? I love all you guys. I love all you guys. I'm glad to argue with all y'all. Even Drew's dumbass. Shit.
Even Drew's been on fire, man. I love to interact with the people in the comments.
I do too. This is why I do it. But if you come in here saying stupid shit, I'm gonna call you stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not
you
sorry.
You gotta know where you at. You gotta know your personnel.
This is where we are. This is this channel. That's this channel. You say something dumb, I'm gonna call you dumb.
Who Drew a fan of? What's his team?
Stopping the school from cheating. What's cheating, bro? What's cheating? And KU, you shouldn't talk about cheating because y'all cheat your asses off for basketball players. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's about 25 years. But that have to be that 25 million is allocated throughout the whole athletic program. They saying, I know the SEC, I think the SEC gonna allocate about 15 to 17 of that to football. But it don't matter, man.
What do I think about this? I think this is fucking free enterprise, buddy boy. And I would expect for him to get more money if he was to come back next year as a Heisman finalist.
Who you talking about?
John Mateer. What if in theory John Mateer says, thanks for the pay this last year, but now I was a Heisman finalist. I'd like twice as much as you gave me, or I'm in the portal. Okay.
I mean, I think, hold on. First of all, if I overplay my contract,
you don't own the motherfucker. You don't own these guys. You do not own them.
Because at that point, he would have over. I think if he come back as a Heisman candidate finalist, I think he would have overplayed whatever y'all had paid him.
I think they paid him $3.5 million, so I think it's worth it. But I also think
he got 3.5.
I think he did. Dang. I believe he did.
Oh, that's top money.
How broke they are at Oklahoma.
That's top money. I mean, that's top money.
I think only Carson Beck got more.
That's what I'm saying. I know he got 4. That's top money. Where the North Carolina quarterback got 4 too. That's top money though. That's what I'm getting at.
Wow, they gave Gio Lopez $4 million and benched his ass already.
Got $4 million, bro.
Wow. I think you're muted. No, maybe not. No, Ed, listen, you get what you can get. Guess what? You get, and is he worth it? You have to make that decision for yourself.
He should get more coming back from a high. If you gave him 3.5 this year,
I'm not arguing with you, bro. I'm not arguing with you. I said the same thing. I mean, double. I mean, is double the right number? Probably not, but maybe.
Whatever the rate is. If 4 this year high, then at least got to be 5 next year.
Whatever the number is. Yeah, whatever the number
is. Be the same 3.5.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. Unless now I can see if he's saying now we had a deal in place where I'm gonna give you 3 this year and 3 next year. Now you're trying to renegotiate and break the deal. Now that's where shit get a little fuzzy because we already had some on paper.
Yeah, they can interconference transfers. They do have a rule in place. You can't do it after the spring. I think they could challenge that rule and probably it goes away though if the players wanted to challenge that rule or if the schools wanted to. But here's the thing: if you're in lockstep with, like, the coaches of the SEC make decisions together. Period. End of story. So, and if you are part of that decision-making group and you don't want to lose your players, and by the way, all the coaches in the conference don't want to lose their players after they've already started installing their offenses in the spring and defenses so that you can take their fucking playbook and go give it to somebody else in the league. I don't really, that's not the same thing. That's not what we're talking about. When it comes to transfers, though, on allowing them to leave, you may be able to do that, but that's only because that conference is willing to say, yeah, the SEC can say, no, you're not doing it during the spring. If one of those schools decided, fuck you, I'm challenging that, it would never make it to court even. It would just not be a thing anymore. As long as everybody's willing to go by the rule, then the rule sticks. The second somebody thinks it's a bogus rule and sues, then we find out if it's real or not. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. In the end, I am 100% pro players. 100%. There's never going to be a part of me that wants to screw them out of the money because they've been fucked forever.
We don't believe
they take all the hell. They take all the hell for cheating and all this other shit that the schools have done it, and they've been the ones that have gotten the bad rap about it, not the colleges.
Hey, Pimp, I'm about to slide out of here, man.
I am too. I gotta go. Yeah. Tell everybody how to find you, and man, it's good to have you back on.
Hey, man, just anytime you can find me on Jason channel, man. Anytime he invite me, man, for sure. Anytime he invite me. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. It was a blast, man. But I don't got sleepy and I need to eat.
Me too. Good to have you in here, my brother.
Appreciate it, boss. Y'all be safe out there, man. Good luck next week to all y'all out there, everybody team.
That's right. Hey, man, we'll talk to you soon. I want to hear you. I want to hear what you got to say about next week. Or well, we'll be talking about some of these games coming up for sure. But I want to get into some Georgia stuff, so let's get together again. Appreciate it.
Just let me know, man.
Would I have a different opinion if OU was less of a player in NIL? No, in NIL stuff and capping the NIL? No, I wouldn't. Guys, remember, I've been a sports writer for a long time, covering college sports. A long time. Long before they ever felt like paying these guys. Watched all these the shit that went down with the bagmen all over the country. I've know about things that nobody else talks about. You don't talk about it out in the open. And I know about these things because it's well known inside of these programs. It happens. If you know damn good and well, if you're a real fan of whoever your program is, that and USC, out of all people, I mean, come on, Trojan Fight. I don't think what they did was cheating. I don't give a fuck that they paid Reggie Bush's parents and got him a house. Don't care. Don't care. Don't think it was worth everything that happened to them. I think it's the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. And I can't fucking stand USC at this point. Can't stand them. And I'm going to tell you, it's horseshit what happened to them. Think it's dumb. And I'll tell you another thing. Right now, I couldn't give a shit less about Michigan. I don't give a fuck about them stealing signs either. You guys already know that I'm not one that, hey, I'm also the guy that says steroids were better for baseball. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't know what Babe Ruth was doing, so I'm not going to sit here I know that he played daytime double headers and partied all night, so I feel like he was on something. I'm not saying to keep those guys out of the Hall of Fame for doing steroids. I don't believe that you should. And I like baseball better on steroids. Just got to be real with you. Cheating it's a weird word. It's a weird word to me. It's a weird word. Saw the I've seen the wing tee before. I have actually. Shut up though. Anyway. Is my mother in here? Hey, Mom. Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here, Mom. I'm sorry. But yes. Babe Ruth did it on hot dogs and beer. Yeah. No other help, right? No other help. I'm sure of it. Right. Yeah. You ever wonder why Hank Aaron didn't never talk any shit about Bonds passing him? You know, and he was kind of rooting for him and stuff. I always felt like that's probably because he was in an era when you needed that help. Hell, I know that I heard, what's his name from the Phillies back in the day, he was talking about that they were on greenies, that they all were. Shit, it was a bus league back then. If you wanted to stay around, you better use what you can. It's all bullshit. Alcohol and speed were popular during the Ruth era. Yeah, listen. Coke used to have cocaine in it back then, wasn't it? Wasn't it around that time that Coca-Cola still had cocaine in it? You know? A good call on that, by the way. Good call. Care about stealing signs. That shit was whack. Was it though? Or maybe you should just do better and not fucking maybe change your own signals every once in a while. I don't know. It's all whack. Look, man, it's whack if you're the one that, if you didn't get, or you lost a game to a team that didn't get caught doing it. I guess. Whatever. It is what it is. See? I don't care about the cheating. You take the risk, but they deserve worse than they got. Who? Michigan? Come on, bro. All right, guys. I'm out. Appreciate everybody coming in. We've been going over 3 hours. I'm supposed to be up doing this again here in a few hours. But we will, because we're going to talk more about Oklahoma and Michigan on Rise and Shine College Football in the morning. I'll see if I can get Boganowski and somebody maybe else. Maybe Dent. I think Dent's pretty busy, but maybe we get him. We'll see. Okay. I love this shit. All right, guys. Love you guys. Appreciate everybody coming in. We'll see you all in the next one. I still don't have the outro here. We'll do the intro. If you love college football, you know you're in the right place. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. And don't forget to ring the bell. Smash that red subscriber button. And don't forget to ring the bell.